Okay, I think we're live. Don't know how to tell for sure. Hi, everybody. If we're live, give us 2 minutes. We're just making sure that we actually are. I'm going to go to the YouTube account and see if it's up. Yeah, it says we're live. That looks pretty decent. Yeah, that works. All right, it works. All right, everybody, what's up? Right now, we're going to be doing the wrap-up episode for the Rockler Plywood Challenge YouTube video entries. When we went into it, we were expecting maybe 25 videos, something like that. Yeah. Something we could easily highlight in a video, but we got about 100. And so we've made a playlist, which we will be watching all of them off of on shuffle, so we're not playing any favorites. We're just letting it be completely random. We will be fast-forwarding videos, skipping a couple minutes into videos, because like I just said, there's 100 videos and we want to get through as many as we can.
And they probably average, what, like 6 to 8 minutes long?
Yeah, there's kind of like the shorter videos that are that long. There's a lot of people that did the 10, 15-minute videos as well. So we want to get through as many as we can and talk about as many as we can. So we're just going to click play all. Yeah, we're going to go for it. All right, guys. And if there's any problems, let us know. Maybe in the chat somewhere.
Hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah. Just let us know. All right, here we go, guys. Video number 1.
Hi, my name is Ben Pake, and today we're going to make this sheet of plywood using recycled skateboard.
We're on shuffle now. So this one is from Ben Pake from Wobie Design. He kills.
Yeah, so I actually used to live in that same building in downtown LA in the Arts District. Love that area. Oh. Oh, we're doing the whole lifestyle thing, huh?
Oh, man.
All
right, we're going to get to the building.
Props for the shout out, though.
Yeah.
Good form.
Big ups. Woo. Look at that shot.
All right, so this is something I actually have been interested in seeing for a while, is his actual process for how he goes about processing all those skateboards.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we got some like romantic fireside. Look at that. You put a little bit of the mood music.
Yeah. We're going to peel this grip tape off. We're not ripping it off.
Yeah, just inhale the aroma of the
glue,
of the softened adhesive as I gently peel back your grip tape.
But no, I think this is Ben's first like proper video on his channel.
This is great.
So if we're talking like just right off the bat with production, he's killing.
The other thing I'm noticing is his shop is super organized.
Yeah, totally.
Just like ours.
Yeah. He's got to have the storage on lock though. He's got so many boards to store.
Excellent font use. This is actually like a super pro video.
Yeah, it is.
Shout out to the Ryobi Microsoft.
Yeah.
Wow, switching angles.
Audio still sounds okay. I'm
That's
gonna
a
keep
nice
rolling
shot.
with it.
I'm really surprised at just the color variation in all the skateboards still.
What's really impressive to me is he's able to get all of those bends out still. Like every single course is, every single piece is really warped, but collectively, once it all gets clamped up, it works.
Oh, no, there he is blowing himself. More coffee. Toby.
And more sanding.
I want to see that press.
I think we're getting really close to it.
So he's using an angle grinder to remove. Is that to flatten or just to get, oh, so it gets it so it sticks. It's removing more adhesive.
Right, because on one side you have the adhesive, and on the other side you've got a layer of either paint or whatever graphics on there. So. Good music.
Yeah, he's used like 3 or 4 different tracks already.
Yep.
So yeah, that building's where I used to live.
To glue these up, we're going to cut it so that it fits into the glue.
And shout out to 805 Beer, which is our beer of the day. This is actually from my hometown.
Boom.
Right. Wait, so what's he doing here?
So now he's making these glue ups to make the big blocks out of.
Tight Bond 3. If you want that waterproof.
Oh, dang.
Bottle jack. That's 12 tons. So why is the glue? So is it the dye from the wood is actually turning the glue?
Yeah.
Is that a function of the pressure?
Man, I don't know.
It must be kind of dissolving the paint a little bit to do that. I noticed that. I was like, why is he using colored glue?
That's the thing, though. Is it paint or is it the wood that's got like a penetrating stain?
Oh, Ben's got a tattoo.
He's been exposed.
So he made that like steel jig.
Yeah.
Just using some heavy tube steel and bottle jack. So that's not an expensive thing to make. Like that's pretty.
I feel like he needs to make a video on how to make that press.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, let's get to the resawing. That looks like the challenging part. When I saw this sort of approach, it was the resawing that really sort of intrigued me. There we go. Because those are heavy too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So he's breaking it down from giant blocks to manageable blocks, and then from those manageable blocks into each of the veneers.
That would be so. I have never cut anything that straight on the bandsaw.
I don't think you've ever cut anything that straight in your life.
No. CNC.
There you go. Okay.
Angle grinder on plate steel.
Yeah.
This is dramatic. Yo, Ben, where are you getting your music at? Trimming all the sheets. Ooh. See, I don't know if I would have gone with that. I might have done a stagger pattern on the board. I mean, it looks good, but...
Oh, you mean the seams? Yeah.
So it's not just skinned on another piece of plywood. The whole...
He did it right. Like, he oriented the veneers.
I want to see how he's going to press ratchet strap.
Would you trust the 2x4 to be straight enough for that?
I mean, put enough pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, a little flush trim bit. Shout out to Ryobi.
All right, here it is. A full sheet of plywood made out of recycled skateboards.
Nice. How does he get that dog to just stay there?
The dog's just chill, man.
I know. He's just like, sit there, stay, don't move.
We need a
And he
dog,
doesn't.
or we need to better train Gary's.
Yeah, we need to get the Garys on some serious training. That's beautiful.
That's really hot. See, I would almost want that as like a feature wall by itself.
Just an entire accent wall.
Very cool. All right, on to the next.
Kudos, Ben. Good work. That is amazing.
How does this shuffle work? You just hit the next one?
Yeah, I'm looking for the next button.
Scroll down.
Nope, next button's right here. All right, here we go.
Good. Good product placement for the Rockler Plywood Challenge.
Wait, was that on shuffle? Oh, yeah, it was. All right.
So I like it. Accessibility is actually, I think, a pretty important consideration for this.
Totally. That's what I
like
failed
the
to
tape.
do.
The use of the tape
That's right.
to label the dimension.
Yeah.
That is a good. Have you seen that before?
No, I was going to comment on it. Like, that's good for video, and that's good to just keep track of things mentally, too.
Yeah.
It's like a living reference for what you just did.
So we're watching Very Custom right now. Get it? Like
It's very custom.
It's very.
Very punny.
No, no. Just clean up a little glue.
Yep.
So he did all these cuts with. He was doing his end cuts with the.
It looks like he used the jigsaw and a straight
straight
edge. I think he was showing that as an option, and then used the table saw to do all the rest.
It was funny when I first got started. I almost bought a jigsaw instead of a circular saw. So
Yeah.
I just assumed, well, a circular saw can only cut straight, so the jigsaw was more useful because you can cut straight with a straight edge.
It's more versatile, yeah.
Glad I didn't.
Yeah. And then I would have quit building things quickly.
So do you use like one of the palm sounders versus like an orbital sander more? Like do you
Before
have
I
a
came out here,
preference?
yeah, I used the
I've
quarter
never
sheets.
used the palm sounder. I've only used the orbital with the rubber pad.
All right, first tangent of the day. A quarter sheet sander is nice in that the sandpaper is cheaper because it's just comes in sheets and you cut it into quarters. And I had a literal shitload of it in my shop whenever I was getting tools. And so that's just what I use.
I like using the offcut.
That's your template, yeah. And then after I came out here, I used y'all's random orbit sander, and it literally sands about 5 times faster. It's kind of crazy. A little bit deeper groove, so you kind of have to sand to higher grits. But
so this is like, as I get more experience, I notice the biggest difference in how I take on projects is I'm less afraid to do free-handed cuts as long as I have a line.
yeah,
Like I just go slow and I just follow the line. Like people go, how do you cut straight with a circular saw? I'm like, you go slow. You have good safety glasses that don't fog up. And
pay
you just
attention.
keep your eye on that line. And a little bit of dust removal helps.
Yeah, that's the jigsaw. The jigsaw tends to always build up. So like I'm always cutting and like cut, blowing out all that extra dust the whole time.
Oh wow, hand cut. You know what's funny? When I saw this project on Instagram, and my first thought was like, oh, it looks like a CNC project because of all the curves and stuff like that. And this is really impressive that this is done with looked like table saw was the main sort of tool. Yep, jigsaw and a router. And drill, of course. A little more inspection.
Yeah. Good video too. It's got good pacing. We're 3 minutes in, and really, I hadn't felt a need to kind of like move anything along at all.
Oh, look at that parallel line drawing. That's almost as good as my washer trick. No, you know what's great about it? It's actually surprisingly instructive considering there's no voiceover.
Yeah.
Like the way he's framing the shots and using the little tricks like the tape and stuff like that. Post-its would be a good way to sort of like do a little caption and stuff like that. And I think people with Sawdust Angels. Yeah, I know the feeling of making a lot of dust. Got a nice little sport shape to it. Ron Seal. Never heard of that brand.
Me neither.
Oh, my kind of guy, last minute.
That looks really great.
Awesome project, great use of end grain, cool shapes, and again, the really impressive use of minimal tools.
Absolutely. Good job, Barry Custom.
Give him a subscribe there.
Too late.
Next time. Uh-oh.
We got some low audio.
Toolbox for sharpening supplies.
Getting right into it. Here we go.
Yeah, toolboxes are a weird thing because I never find, like every toolbox I've ever found is so generic that it doesn't fit my weird collection of tools.
That's a good point.
So I think it's something I need to make.
I like that pull saw. It's interesting. So right now he's using one. He was just using one that had a spine on the back, and now he's using one that is dual-sided.
All right. So here's something we're crowdsourcing.
Yep.
We've been thinking a lot about Japanese pull saws. So does anyone out there use, and let us know in the comment sections, do any of you use the fine tooth blade, or do you just use the big ones? You only use
Fine. Only a fine tooth guy.
Oh, gotcha.
Because a lot of times, I think the way they're traditionally used is the fine teeth are for cross-cutting, and the larger teeth are for ripping down boards. But my hypothesis around the whole thing is that nobody, for the most part, other than the people that are exclusively hand tools, but kind of in the maker space, people aren't ripping down 8-foot-long boards with that hand saw. They're going to use the table saw. And so you kind of have those coarse teeth that are maybe good if you're cutting a 2x4 to rough length or something, but the fine teeth are kind of finer than what I would normally
and all
want.
that stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, we're thinking about starting a line of Japanese pull saws.
Those are interesting joints. I like that.
And hand cut. I never associate like hand tools with plywood. I always think that like once you go to plywood, you go machine tools. Like once you go to like the modern sort of technology.
Exactly. The struggle of giant sheets of table, or giant sheets and small table saw beds. No, it's a really cool mix of traditional tools and then mixing in the table saw and everything like that.
So he's adding a little texture to it?
And as you can
I think
see,
he's just flattening.
Groove. Oh.
really having trouble. The Baltic birch is hard.
Yeah,
And
Baltic birch is.
The plywood even make it that much more difficult.
Yeah.
I sharpened a lot of plane blades just getting those 3 shells. As a matter of fact,
Oh, because got turned down a little bit.
Yep.
I hate
And the plywood grain is just going every direction.
Again, the top piece was
This is coming together. I like the handles too.
This is a Thomas Glass, by the way. Also published right on the deadline.
I know.
Next step was with oiled box. Let the oil soak in for about an hour.
So I mean, like, Like that makes way more sense than getting a whole bunch of like plastic
Crates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a bunch
It
of
looks
Rubbermaid
nice.
tubs.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
that's really nice. Oh, look at those like little square pegs.
Mhm.
And this is all for his sharpening stuff for all his hand tools. Damn, that's really nice. You know what I like too?
Oh, nice. And the lid can only slide in one direction.
Lid only goes in one way. That's the beauty of the box. It's so simple, yet it's got such a.
That's really impressive.
Very nice. Yeah, I need to get more organized.
Shout out Thomas.
Shout out to Tom's class.
That's a great project. Good job. 36 views. Come on, show him some love, guys.
In this video,
yeah, I think I saw. Oh no, this is a different one. This isn't the color one. Which one's this?
Kind of cheated. I didn't want to build multiple of them. I just built all two.
We're hopping right into the build one more time, and here we go.
Useful.
This is from Roomy's Garage.
I set up my blade to the right height and the right distance from the fence on every cut. So it didn't matter if it was opposite end. So if I had to flip the board. This is my first real project. I used dado blades. I got them at
Dado blades seems so nice.
home hardware, and I think I paid.
I've always weighed whether it's worth
I've never
setting
used
up.
one.
I used it in wood shop in middle school.
Yeah,
I've
I
never,
did it in college.
Yeah. I've never used one on my own though, and I always weigh, is it worth the setup time cost versus the actual time cutting everything? And I always end up just using the blade with repeated cuts.
Thick, which they were selling for 3/4. The distance between the two
I'm just verifying
grooves,
that we're still
center, it's 5
It's a good idea.
inches and 1/16.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time we were just talking into the dark. Modern maker.
So I'm glad my son was there to help me find all the studs. And then my wife came and helped me install
Nice.
storage against the wall at the height that she really wanted.
Oh, Inception.
Awesome. Check the chat, see if people are saying things. All right, so this is the kid from storage thing. Now this is where plastic containers come in handy. The Legos and the random stuff like that.
Nice.
All right, here we go.
Oh, the little dado cut was actually just for the lip of the plastic things.
Yep.
So I actually think this is like the most practical way to get organized is you build a plywood carcass and then you get a bunch of ready-mades. Like, because to build all the plywood boxes,
Right. Not very
also
fun.
heavy. That was nice.
And plastic boxes are so cheap too.
It was funny too. It's like I did something similar like that, but like with overhead storage for my laundry room thing for one of my rental units, and yeah, people love that shit.
Way to go. Great video. Thumbs up from me.
For Roomy's Garage.
All right, here we go.
Hey, this is Square City Pieces. This time I make a bench from plywood. This is also my submission for the Rockler Plywood Challenge.
What are those little copper details? Is that a weird cap screw?
It's interesting.
Wait, paint or specialty hardware? What you guess?
Specialty hardware. All right, we got a 4-minute video. There we go. Concise. I like it.
But still has those nice
Clean shots.
legs. Frank
See,
Howard style.
I like that so much. By just cutting one piece and then showing all the rest of them stack up, he was able to save so much time lapse footage. That's
Yeah,
great.
another Japanese full stop.
Yeah.
Gotta take that sticker off though. That's gonna gum up when you get down in there.
We should have cut the potatoes at work too, but I think.
Oh, coping. Do you ever use a coping saw?
Only like twice. They're funky. They're hard to keep a straight line with. They wouldn't be real
You get
wavy.
all these notches by hand.
Yeah.
That's actually probably just as fast as like setting up and switching your table saw blade to a dado and all.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah. I wonder what that threshold is. Is it like 8 grooves, 10 grooves, 4 grooves?
So what are these angles for? Oh, for the end pieces?
Yep. I would have gone a little more aggressive with that taper. I'm thinking right now, but we'll see.
Dowling jig.
Yeah, that's a cool
Whoa.
dowling jig. I've never seen anything like that.
Wait, what is that?
I have no idea.
That was cool.
All right, if someone in the chat knows what that dowling jig is, leave a link or at least leave the name of it so other people can find it. That thing looks really neat.
As you can see, the dowling jig is not the best.
Oh, never mind.
Maybe not.
I should have
Dowling jig sucks.
It looks like it would be pretty cool.
I think I might just like CNC some dowling jigs.
Yeah.
Or laser cut some plexi ones. I think plexi is nice because you can kind of see through them.
Right. Very clean. Let's see the finished piece.
I'm impressed with this hand cut.
Yeah, really impressive.
I didn't use clamps on the top. The fit was very snug.
His voice reminds me of the slingshot guy.
Yeah. We met at Maker Central.
The slingshot dude?
No.
Oh.
I forget his name, but from
there's-
Scrap,
I think he just
from
painted.
Square City Pieces.
Like and subscribe if you like this.
Beautiful. So no, those
Very
were
nice project.
specific screws. They had a wood screw in, but that button finish on the end. Very good.
Up next, we got Atlantic Media Productions.
With some smooth jazz radio.
That's right.
I like it.
And this looks like I like to try to guess what part of the world they're in, just by looking at the video.
Yeah. I also the other
This looks
thing
like
that
a
really
cold climate, not just because of the hoodie. It just has like cold, like northern kind of light feel to it.
the other
and
thing
it's
that's
Florida.
interesting though is I always like to look and see what plywood people are choosing to use. Is it a Baltic birch one? Is it some pine?
We saw a lot of Baltic birch.
Yeah.
I think we saw way more Baltic birch than we did anything else.
Yeah. I think it's just that idea is like if I can only use one sheet of plywood, I'm gonna get as good of plywood as I can.
I've never seen the wall track saw before. Is that like a commonly available thing?
I would assume. I don't know. I've seen it, never used one. All right, so we're breaking down a lot of pieces,
So he's cutting a lot of strips.
glued it up into a nice butcher block. Okay, I'm liking where this is going.
This is a large man. Like, look at how little that palm sander looks.
I think it's also the perspective of the camera a little bit.
No.
I don't think he's a giant.
This is Hulk.
I actually do music. If you're gonna make a longer video, it's not like in your face too much.
Looks like you're making some waves to braces.
Yep.
That's an interesting stuff. Look at the mechanism on that guy.
Yeah.
It's sort of like it doesn't pivot down. It like lowers down.
Right.
It's like the lift gate of like a truck or something.
Yeah, and it's got that fence on the front of the bed too, which is kind of interesting.
Did you ever use a radial arm saw?
In woodshop, scared me so much. They seem so unwieldy.
Wait, they propel themselves forward towards you, right?
So the blade is going this way,
Gotcha.
and you pull it towards.
And it wants to shoot back.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
why
there's
is
a
that?
fence there that keeps it in place. But yeah, I think once they came out with the sliding miter saw, it kind of has the same capacity, but it's also a chop saw at the same time. Just kind of phased it out, I think, for the kind of contractor use.
So you built it up in little pieces, broke it all down. Oh, ooh, it's like a little weathered stain. Oh, I do remember this one. This one's nice. What? Oh, it's a screw gun? I feel like this guy has a lot of contractor tools. Seen the use of air compressor.
Yep.
Oh, he's got the black speed square. How many of you guys use speed squares? Or do you guys just use like regular L-shaped squares? You use the triangular speed squares.
The triangle's where it's at.
I agree. All about them 45s. A little mortise and tenon joints to the sides. Whoop.
It ended so abruptly. Oh no, we have to watch an ad, guys. I'm going to say none of the above to not show any favoritism, and we're moving on to the next video.
This is my submission for the Rockler Plywood Challenge. Let's get started.
That's interesting. It looked like it was in progress during the intro, so he's not giving it away too soon.
Bodie Pindus.
Hardest thing about doing this plywood challenge is having a truck to bring the plywood home. I don't have a truck. It just won't fit in my car. So the hardest thing to do is to pre-plan enough of the measurements to know what size
I feel ya.
pieces.
Been there.
We did like the first 2 years of projects with Jesse's Prius, like dragging quarter sheets around.
Recognize
Oh, wow.
that I need to draw this
All right,
out
so we got a
enough.
good plan, and we're breaking everything down.
Ah, he's taping his cuts.
Yeah,
Doesn't want those splintery connections.
that's a good idea. I've done that before.
Yeah, but I hate adhesive removal. Like,
So after I got each of the leg pieces
little
together,
Columbia
I
Pure Bond
sanded
action.
all
It's
the
an interesting
edges
Sanders attached to his drill.
smooth.
oh yeah.
Now when the
I-
colors taper on this,
I've wondered
When
about
I was a
that.
kid, I've used that.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, it gets real. It can move around on you,
It
obviously.
can kind of run off
Yeah, and it's like moving.
one direction
Yeah,
rather
it
than.
leaves some marks, but
which I previously cut is not wide enough to hold the support of that. So I'm building the jig. So
building jigs.
Right. I got the top and the shelf ready,
Nice.
and I rounded over all the corners. So it'd be
See,
nice.
this is why I love a cordless palm mounter. See how you have to flip that over?
Yeah, you got it hooked over the arm. Yeah,
Tear out the
I had that router for a long time.
Cordless palm mounter is my tool of the year.
That's the innovation of the year.
I mean, I'm just saying that right now. I'll probably say a different one next week, but it's a pretty.
Until something cooler comes
We've been
out.
using it a lot.
Yeah, we've been using it a ton.
this version,
Nice taper on the legs.
Yeah, very much.
So it looks like we go with like a nice little side table
Mhm.
or a chair. Side table. Legs too long for a chair.
height of my shelving unit
Oh,
And
it's
sanding
shelf.
it down and doing it once.
Early American. That's a good stain choice. I like that a lot. That is what I used on the most recent dining table that I
Isn't that like
stained.
a song name?
Early American.
This
I don't know.
finish and be onto the
It would fit a nice country song.
Staining and finishing with poly. We have
That's very nice.
I like it.
Good use of oak plywood.
Joinery, both the top and the sides.
All right. Good
Yeah.
good job, DIY home and garden projects.
Yeah, it's interesting how oak takes stains compared to other woods. It really has so much contrast in the grain.
Making this neon ring light that you can see over here. This video is part of the Rockler One Sheet of Plywood Challenge hosted by the Modern Maker podcast. And so here we go with the build.
All right, here we go.
We'll give them a like.
Absolutely. I know, I keep forgetting. For everyone that I didn't like, it's not because of anything other than my forgetfulness. Awesome. Uh-oh. Been there.
It's two. Ring light. So we actually just started using ring light for some of our stuff.
Yeah. It's really nice to use.
Whoa. Oh, it's a
Wow.
little like
Little camera
Doctor
trick.
Strange. That was psychedelic there.
I like it. So there's a lot of like electrical stuff going on in this.
See, I would have gone with more of the Halo hat.
Oh, okay.
Little battery pack backpack.
Yeah. All right.
But see, you know what I like about this is that so often people think that they need like a 3D printer to make random little bracket parts. You can take a tiny little scrap piece of plywood, a little hot glue, a few screws, a router to kind of put in random shaped holes. You can build these like little sort of
Prototypes.
right.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased with how
Yeah, that's really, really cool.
Nice little trick of the zip ties to hold the ring lamp.
Yeah.
I also find
Awesome.
it hard to
Totally
decide
useful.
These ring lamps are not cheap.
No.
green or white cardboard in a small slot. Very nice as it can act as a reflector to bounce off some light.
Dude, he looks pretty young too. That's awesome.
Small neon light.
Nicely
I have
done.
also made the thing
All right,
nice
Lewis.
for
That was a killer project. Good job,
Lewis
man.
Delmar, go check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
as well. These two devices were made using
At Lowe's, pros can save
Oh.
an extra 5% every day with their Lowe's business
Get out here,
credit
Lowe's.
on things like tools.
Modern. Okay, I saw some of this. I was very curious how I made these cones.
Home improvement woodworking.
For regular viewers, this video will be a little different than the how-to format that you're used to.
Ooh.
And that's because this is a special occasion. We have a contest
Look at this
that we're
shirt.
entering
Wouldn't it
by
be
the
nice?
Modern Maker podcast.
Chris would like that shirt.
This
Chris
is also
would-
a one-year
Chris would like
anniversary
that.
His next
of our
birthday.
YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel started a year
Actually,
ago with
this
the
guy
Modern
kinda
Maker
looks like an old
podcast
Chris.
challenge using
Yeah, a
two
little bit.
platforms. And this is our contest division. Having a round
Oh, this is cool.
whiteboard action.
Yeah.
with a cone-like shape on the top
I think we both just said,
and a
ooh.
cone-like shape on the bottom.
Drawing.
Yeah.
I will never draw on camera because my drawing is terrible.
I've looked at the grain on this, and if I allow it to come straight, it might look consistent across. And I want there to be.
So
a bit
this
of
was a video that
contrast.
caught my eye because it just has like, it shows how to make a cone out of plywood. And that's like one
This piece.
technique I don't know how to do. So that's what
This way
originally.
on that piece.
And I thought this was going to be a CNC project. Ooh, plunge. Oh no, he's cutting it down.
Yep.
Vertically cutting plywood with a jigsaw,
That's skills.
savage.
That's
I
skills.
think that first piece.
That's really impressive.
All right, so this is really cool. So it's
What
cutting
you
out the
do
rough shape so that
is you
everything folds together.
So you
It's
cut
continuous.
2 arcs.
So if you were that good where you could cut
Vertical.
everything vertical, think about how much space you
And
could
then
save in
you
your
cut
shop.
curves.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't have to lay anything down flat.
Yep.
I use an upcutting spiral bit, so I've got a nice clean cut.
There go compression bit there. So he's trimming them to
So
match.
let me tell you
Yep.
about the plan.
All right, so he's got
This is
two
the piece
identical
here
curves.
that's going to make the cone. This will be the top.
Oh,
this will be the
pivot
nose
point.
part, and this will be the bottom. Now, what I've experimented with here is
Curve
doing some curve
cuts.
cuts and then gluing them together. So if I space them a 1/2 inch apart on this 3/4 inch plywood, bend them together, it takes about 15 cuts to get a 90-degree angle.
Nice.
So to make
All
a
right,
full
take it over,
circle,
give us more
I've got
beer.
16
All right,
cuts to do it
beer
properly.
time.
So I'm going to
All right, we're
space them
about
a
to start
1/2 inch
bending
apart
here.
at the top.
I like
this way he bends it,
how you can't see the.
Wait, you got to come back and see this. You got to hurry.
No, keep going.
Put that in.
So what he did is he made curve cuts that all are equidistant on one side, but closer on the other, so that whenever he bends everything, they're all pointing to the same center point.
I struggled so much to try and get straps around it.
Wow.
A strap around a cone, just
This is
that.
impressive.
So I figured if I used a bucket, I could force the cone into something.
He's using a 5-gallon
Some
bucket.
people on Instagram.
I have used a
Take
5-gallon
everything.
bucket.
That really helped.
That's great.
Switching it up with a little Modelo now. The official Maker Ranch beer.
It's refreshing. It's guilt-free.
It's cheap.
And cheap.
And we're making a project out of the bottles.
Yeah, that's the important part.
Oh, the old bucket clamp.
That's the strap clamp making that sound. So I've also on the
What's cool is when he
inside
rolls it up, how you don't
put
see the
some
curves.
blocks
Like it,
and screwed
his
them
cuts
in,
were so
where
straight
I've
that
got
it like
seam at the
really
back,
hides them.
just to help hold it all together. Really happy with
I
how
want
it
to make a
turned out.
big wooden
It's
funnel
time to get
for Legos.
Oh, okay.
Like if we're cleaning up Legos thing, just scoop them off the table, funnel them in.
Yeah. This is awesome.
I like how you see a little bit of the facets.
Yeah.
Like it's got a little bit of an origami kind of thing.
And
Like
everything's sitting kind of on that 45 rather than just straight up and down grain or horizontal.
Impressive technique.
Yeah, that's
I actually
really
might
great.
use that for like making concrete formwork.
Man, that's cool. All right, home improvement woodworking. Great project.
Give them a thumbs up.
Yep.
Give them a subscribe. And on to the next.
I really enjoyed working on this project. It was something.
Oh yes, this one I've been wanting to see. This is pretty crazy.
All right, so this is someone like, I don't know his channel prior to this, but whenever he posted this on Instagram,
I was like, what? Now I feel like I may have seen a similar chair to this before too. So I'm curious if he references like sort of inspiration for the design. But this is pretty incredible.
curve cuts. Lots of curve cuts.
In multiple directions. All right, so this guy knows what he's doing. You know why I know that? He's got dust collection.
Yeah, proof.
You know who doesn't have dust collection? These guys. Look at that. Like a pro. Oh, he put the camera inside. That's a dicey. Look at that. Cleaning it up.
See, what interests me is he's got to make all these cuts and while keeping in mind how it looks folded up.
So that's a really great. So I thought this might be a CNC project, but he uses templates and handheld tools really effectively. Look at this. So it folds in 2 different directions. Oh, he keeps the glue on. Real smart. Look at that. So he folds up these 2 burrito loops. This is really impressive. See, yep. I knew there was math involved.
Yeah. I knew he didn't wing it. A little CNC action.
See, it curves up between the 2 pieces. This is really impressive.
Yeah.
You could like hide your beers or a book or something down below.
Yeah, I think what you said is you've got a space for books, not a space to hide beer.
I think you could do like something like a lamp that comes out the top too or something.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
Shout out Sam Lee. You killed it, brother.
Sam Lee Design. I'm going to be checking out more of his videos because I feel like I could learn a lot from this dude.
It's not converted.
Oh, 76,000 subscribers.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, man.
Larry. The suitcase.
Yes. I met Sebastian as well in Maker Central, so shout out. Thank you for participating.
Shout out to Sebastian. I saw this one. It's like, yeah, what are you going to make with this sheet of plywood? I don't know. Maybe some luggage?
Naturally.
I love that we go from seeing a chair to like luggage. Like that's the versatility that we're doing.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, look. Mortgage and mine are doing the watch party.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm curious to see how many people are watching right now.
So I'm actually working on an inlay thing similar to this. So that's why I'm really curious to see how he does it. Because he did like this kind of like diagonal stripe.
The crisscrossing pattern. Curve cuts are really making a play in the challenge.
So this looks like,
I like it.
This looks like 1/4 or 3/8, or it looks like less than 1/2 inch plywood.
It looks like barely less than 1/2 inch, yeah.
I've only used like Baltic birch.
Yeah, I've never used it in my life. Track saws, man.
That's right. You even made the wheels. Yeah, that looks like 1/2 inch or less. Okay. That's savage right there, right? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna drill this perfectly straight for wheels by hand. My bit would be
the
like,
wheels would be running like so wobbly. That's cool hardware too for being just a simple bolt.
yeah, sometimes I'll take like kind of janky looking normal bolts and I'll just grind off like the heads. Make them look a little more custom. That's the thing, you know how they have like hex heads?
Yeah.
Why don't they ever have like a triangular head?
Because they don't have a wrench for that.
I know. That would be like super cool. You have to have your own wrenches.
Yeah. I built my own custom set of tools.
Little leather straps.
Beautiful.
You know how we know it's European? Metric system. Okay, what's the washer for? Is he gluing it on? Look at that. That I bet you makes one of those like really subtle, nice noises. The little cutting leather with a sharp chisel.
Mm-hmm.
Just killing it. He made a freaking suitcase. You know what it reminded me? That is gorgeous.
We've got to see what he filled those with. I'm assuming it was some sort of resin, but I got to find out. All right, so here he's laying out the design, cutting it with the track saw, so you get good 1/8 inch.
So
slices.
I recently did something like that too. Actually, I'll do a little teacher.
Yeah, we'll do it after this. Oh, we just painted it. Nice. and then sanded away the excess. Or did he mask everything? Is there masking tape on the whole front? Nice.
Ah, so they are just recesses.
Yeah. And then cleaned everything up. Great job. Good technique. Extremely good, like, follow through. Like, it's a great idea. It was executed amazingly.
And even all the little hardware things. He didn't like buy some like plastic luggage thing from Amazon. Like he's like, oh, I'll just make them out of plywood.
Man, this is a contender. This guy went all in. I like it. Very good work.
Oh, some wood turning.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. Another bent lamination chair.
Shout out to Make
Ready
Things.
to make a form.
Chat's going live. I like it.
Sketched out the profile of the chair that I wanted to make on a sheet of 12mm ply, then screwed 2 sheets together and cut them.
Yeah, jigsaw, man. People don't use jigsaws. You can do so much with a jigsaw.
Jigsaws are scary. It's getting a good clean radius that is just like once you can get that down, it opens up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, jigsaw and like a pencil, it's kind of like the Shape or Origin but faster.
Everything's faster than the Shape or Origin. You could use the Japanese pull saw and then still beat the Shaper.
Oh, who was the guy that we saw recently that put the Japanese pull saw on a sawzall?
That was on Instagram. I can't even remember. But that was genius.
I kind of want to do that. I think we should do that.
Yeah, he attached a Japanese pull saw blade to a reciprocating saw and cut through about a 3-inch thick dowel like it was nothing.
Oh, so he's soaking it.
Yeah.
And soaked it in water for 6
All
hours.
right, so I hear so much conflicting stuff on bent lamination. Some people say that you soak it. Some people say you don't soak it. Soaking it actually fucks up the grain and does all sorts of other bad stuff.
And the back.
So let us know your opinions. Should you soak it when you're doing a bent lamination? Should you steam it?
Because I don't know. I tried, broke the plywood, and then just decided to curve cut.
I'm going to have to ask my boy Connor Coughlin about this. This chair is just so clean. I do wonder though, like if the back's a little bit too straight. Like aesthetically, I love the straight line. Like I like these two. Like it almost looks like freeways, sort of off ramps going straight.
Absolutely.
But I wonder if it's going to be a little bit too rigid because a lot of times you want a chair to have a little bit of a back angle to it. But it's gorgeous.
Then we went around the entire chair with a circular saw to square off all the edges.
Wait, you can't square off the side edges. All right, I want to show my new inlay technique.
All right.
Keep going.
So while we wait for Ben, we'll check out the final picks for this one. I love that you've kept the exposed plies on this. So there's a black, are you allowed to say black face?
No.
No, all right, so there's a black surface that you sit on, but the layers of the veneer still show through on the edges, and that's a really cool touch.
All right, so that Sebastian O'Leary thing caught my eye.
How many ways can you use
I've been working on my own inlay technique.
Designer Leanne Ford.
So what do you think that is? It's not paint, it's tile grout.
Well, you didn't even let him guess.
Mario, and today
Well, they can
I'm going
guess
to show
anything.
you.
So yeah, that's something you've been experimenting with, doing CNC patterns, doing some freehand circular saw patterns.
Yeah. So the geometric lines have been hot for a minute. I think they might be eventually on their way out in the next couple of years, but you'll see like West Elm and all those places, they'll take like brass inlays, that sort of like random geometric things.
Kind of over a console table front or a dresser.
Right. So we've been experimenting, and instead of inlaying material, we've actually just been using fusion grout that's for tile in bright white. It looks like white concrete. It's so strong. You can even, after you do the inlay, and cut it with a saw, and it doesn't chip out or fall all apart. All right.
All right, here we go. Next, we have a project from Watch Me DIY It.
Here I built a stuffed animal cage.
Kind of just looks like Watch Me Die.
Is Evelyn. Mama, ¿por qué te ríes?
Curious George?
I started off by cutting a 1/2-inch thick board of plywood into more manageable
Half inch.
pieces.
That's another interesting variable that I'm always interested in.
Chris did the 1/2 inch.
And
You
I
can
think
use different
doing
types
the
of
half inch is what
such
made his
as
project
dimensional
really
lumber.
cool. Was it
The
kept
stock
that
is
really
usually
clean,
cut in half,
that
is
really clean
approximately
aesthetic,
16 inches
even
wide,
though he was stacking
which
up
is
a bunch of
1/3 of a
layers.
full sheet of plywood. After that,
No one used
I took the two
OSB.
boards to the table saw.
We would have counted
and ripped
OSB
them
as
down
plywood.
to 3-inch
Yeah.
wide strips.
Maybe we'll
I
do
knew
an
that my
OSB
height was
challenge.
going to be around 47
You don't like
or 48
OSB?
inches
A
tall.
particle board
About
challenge.
half
You
the
can use
length of a sheet of
MDF,
plywood. So I set
real
aside 8
particle
of those
board,
pieces,
hardboard,
which are going to make
anything
up the
that's just
vertical supports.
a manufactured
As for
press
the width
board.
and depth, I figured a final
Let us know
dimension
your
of
ideas for the
14
next
inches by
challenge.
16
Oh
inches
yeah,
would look
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So I cut
I'm looking at the
14-inch
chat
pieces
now,
into
so
10-inch plus
we're able to
pieces
monitor it
from
like
this other
this much.
I also ripped them down to 3-inch wide strips on a table saw. And then I used the miter saw to square off the ends before I cut them to length. You ever wipe glue off your finger under a table like if it was a booger?
Yes.
Well, a few days later, I was editing this and came across this. Haha, I guess I do too. If you Okay, back to this one.
Savage.
I love that he did it without even thinking about it.
You guys want to see that hotness again?
Now that I had the 4 vertical supports assembled, I used the pocket hole jig to drill 2 pocket holes on each end of the 12 horizontal pieces.
Pocket holes. Commenters are gonna love that.
When the paint had dried, it was
Okay,
time to add the
have you ever
bungee
just
cords.
rolled on
I used a
like
total of
paint
10
onto
points.
like wood?
2
You
for
can
one
get a
side
really
and 3 for
smooth
long
finish.
side,
I've been
with about
surprised. I
3
did those
inches between.
countertops for Jesse's
To attach the bungee,
workshop.
I measured the
Was like
length
a
from the
rolled
bottom
on
of the
enamel.
case to the
So
top.
it was
Tighten
very
knots on each
glossy,
end,
super
and then
pro.
Foam
fold
roller,
it
like
at
high
the ends and
density
the
foam. Okay. I've had like mixed results. I'm a fan of spraying when I can.
Spraying's so messy though. You need like a dedicated room.
Yeah. Or just do it outside.
Yeah, but it's so windy here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Doing.
So this one's really cool. Super functional, really clean, and good use of the materials.
But I would have gone with a little color on those like cords there.
Yeah. I like the cords a lot. That's a really cool idea. I've been messing around with bungee cords a lot, and it's really cool to see people incorporate it. I see a lot of bathroom organizers where people use that. I think some kind of shoe organizer.
Quick
would be
question:
really
favorite
great.
stuffed animal?
I don't know. So whenever I was really young, it was when the little Beanie Babies,
Little
the
Pony.
TY Beanie Babies were hot. But yeah, I gotta go My Little Pony. No, if I'm gonna be honest, it's the Furbies. Do you remember the Furbies? They're like the little like alien looking things.
I remember. I
that-
was like 20.
yeah, well,
Now we have a better way to organize our
well, I was a
daughters'
child.
spreading everywhere.
Yeah, and then I'm like, yeah, me too.
Another great
Still my
benefit of having
favorite.
this
Why?
cage is that they don't have to
Very
work too
cool.
hard in order to get.
I like that way of like you using like a string or
Even
something
everyone
where you don't
agrees.
need a solid surface.
So,
it actually
if you like
spreads
what you
your
saw,
wooden
please don't
material
forget to
out
like,
a lot.
comment,
And it lets you
share.
see
And
inside.
if you haven't
as
already
well.
done so, please subscribe. That
So
way
when you're
you won't miss
searching
any
for that
future
one
episodes.
baby, for when your
Thanks.
for when
See you
your
next
kid is
time.
just crying for that
Tell
one
them,
baby,
baby.
you can be
So
like,
he's got the
"This
Dodgers shirt, but that out that window, that does not look like an LA environment.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for watching.
Whoa. All right, we got some power
Holy
carving
shit.
on
This
this
looks
one.
like some Tim Burton shit.
Plywood challenge.
I'm gonna turn this one up a tad.
Design-a-saw. And the spine of the Stegosaurus is like a circular saw.
Yeah, it's a double pun.
From there to
Visual and
put that into easel.
Shout out to
Free
Easel.
software that comes with the XCarve CNC router.
awesome.
I've extensively modified my XCarve CNC.
So I like this one because this is like a way you can sketch, where you can do like you can sketch really complex geometry and then pull pieces
Thanks to the
off
guys over at the Modern Maker Podcast.
and then cut the
Love
pieces and
the
build
show.
that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see
Thank
what
you for the
guys
shout out.
do
We
next.
appreciate that very much.
I have been using
We're gonna get to where we're starting to put
Plywood
everything together here.
but it was
So with these
about
kind of like,
recording
I mean,
that
I've done a
I
few
realised
layered
it's very
projects.
hard.
The montage is always the money shot.
And giving
Yeah.
with the legs then marked, I could then drill. The base has this panel on top.
So people always ask me
which
these
helps
projects
me a bit
why I
more
don't
fine,
pre-drill
so
pilot
just
holes
like
into
a
them.
flat
Mhm.
surface to then try and carve detail.
I find it just takes up too much more cutting time, and then often like I just want the flexibility, and it's not that long just to like put screws and glue into.
Yeah. And as long as you're screwing somewhere into the center of the piece that you're adding on, even if it does split a tiny bit, you're only exposing the edges.
You use weight plates to hold things down.
Boom.
Like a good 45 or 25 pound steel plate, they're so flat you get a really clean reference line, and you don't need to clamp. You can just throw something onto the middle. If you're gluing two pieces of plywood together, a 45-pound weight plate is way better than a lot of times.
Yeah, because you got so much surface area too. Instead of focusing it on this one clamp head, you have to spread that same weight across the whole like 2 square
I
foot.
think it was maybe David Patuto made concrete weights.
Yeah, that was a really good
Like
project.
shop weights.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Patuto.
Yeah, he used the pirate rope as the handles.
And if you find any news on wiener dogs or dachshunds on the internet, make sure you send them
Very
to
important.
makesomething.tv. David Patuto loves wiener dogs.
All right, so we just got a comment from Brendan Spafford. Wow, this is the most Ben has ever talked. Touche.
It was a lot sounding.
So this is cool. This is a lot additive power carving than subtractive, which is always good to see.
And I could spread some go around.
So kind of like add a few layers, smooth those out, add a couple more, and blend everything together, rather than making one giant block and carve
Right,
it away.
because you got all those like little like kind of
Pegs for reference. Yeah.
Put the leg on.
Oh, you know, did you see the Last Jedi movie?
Doesn't
Yeah.
quite clear.
It kind of looks like the thing that Luke got the milk out of.
Grabbing the Dremel again. Just try and ease.
It's got
that.
a little bit of
Just,
a
like,
alien udder
A little bit.
thing going on.
All right, so
It's
the legs
downward.
go on. We add a top, and it looks like this.
And the project's done.
Beautiful.
All
I'm
right.
really pleased
But
with this.
if you haven't tried like a stacked plywood with a little bit of power carving,
It's a lot of fun.
it's a lot of fun and it's a really satisfying thing. You can remove angle grinder. Might be my tool of the year.
Oh my god.
Check me out on Instagram.
Flat disc, definitely tool of the year.
At Design Saw.
So that's the other thing about power carving too, is you can go flat disc, you can go power carving blade, and all this kind of stuff, which might be a little layer of intimidation. But I always say just start out with an 80 grit flat disc, and
This
you
is
get
a really
you can
interesting
have a good
project. So
start.
it's almost like it's upside down.
Yeah,
Also, I like the blue glass.
I like it a
Nice.
lot. Yeah,
Classic.
it's interesting with the square. I might have tried some sort of arc on the back, but overall, yeah, really interesting project. I love that.
Very cool.
Awesome. Design a saw project.
Design-a-saw. I like how we articulated the toes of the design-a-saw.
Right. Stuff Seth makes.
No eyes, but articulated toes.
Right.
And how do they know how many toes a dinosaur has?
Bones.
Stuff Seth makes. Okay, yeah, I think I remember talking this now. This is good. So we're going with, no, we're not going with Baltic birch. Or is it?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it has enough
Oh, no, the
plies.
stop block. The stop block
Oh.
is regular.
Gotcha.
Shout out to Bridget.
Yeah. Breaking everything down. A nice stop block. That's a good addition.
Do you use a stop block?
No, I've used the cinder block a few times. But no, I think some good shop furniture would be a nice set of
neither of
projects.
us used any
A nice,
furniture.
nice miter saw stand, a good workbench build,
We used the floor and like squeezy clamps.
and squeezy. I mostly just use squeezy clamps.
Yeah.
All right, so on this one, we are doing some aggressive tapers.
Yeah. That rigid saw can really swing pretty far. Like,
Yeah.
What's it doing there?
Tiny Forstner bit.
At what point does how small of a bit before like it's pointless for it to be a Frostner bit? And you say Forstner or Frostner or
Forstner.
Forstner?
Yeah. Forstner.
In my head, I always just think of them as frosty bits.
All right, let me know if I'm right, but I think it is Forstner bit.
Hey, he's also using a drywall square.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of.
So that's a big, that's a big one that I've been missing a little bit since I've been out here, because I know we have one.
We have one.
But I've quit using it because since I've been here, I've been trying to try just new things, seeing if my workflow is
Like
actually
sushi
convenient.
and hot sauce.
Yeah, but I just want to know if the things that I'm doing in my normal workflow are actually good or not.
That guy bandsaws.
That dude bang sauce. That's a straight cut. And I've come to find the drywall T-square is crucial. It's great if you're doing plywood projects.
This is like when like young design students tell me they need a CNC machine. It's like, dude,
You just need to develop some bandsaw skills.
you need to watch some Jimmy DeResta bandsaw skills.
Man, I feel for Jimmy now. Yeah, because that's probably
Wait, this
his
guy's got
comments
some
of a million
serious
things.
bandsaw skills.
Yeah. All right, so they look like leg assemblies.
So you made some MDF prototypes and then flush trimmed the Baltic birch.
No, I don't think that was MDF. Ooh. He also made a quarter scale. So this one, I think, is a testament to proper planning and patience.
Yeah.
Everything has positive stops. You know, it's got holes in the legs that correlate with holes in each of the slats. You're not necessarily relying on some kind of jig.
You know, some comment
with dado joints.
You know, some commenters would be, why didn't you make the dowels out of plywood?
Yeah.
The dowels are walnut.
Yeah. So this one's really cool. I'm really digging the way this one all assembles.
This is a good project. Because
it's reminiscent of a Nelson bench, but it's kind of flipping on it its head with a similar aesthetic, but a totally different method of construction.
Some spacer pieces.
Shout out Seth. All right, we're gonna skip forward a bit. Ooh, more flush trim saws. Now here's another one.
That's the small one.
That's the small super big.
I like a little bit of a longer pull.
Oh really? You like to pull on longer?
Look at that detail.
I like this very much. This is coming out really clean.
Router. Like everyone doesn't just round over with an orbital sander? What? That's really nice. Although routing a sort of butcher block layer of Baltic birch is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like you see all those like little veneer layers sort of peel over.
That's a nice shot right there. Cool little slider shot. So I think this one is a pretty good blend between getting those cool video shots, but still making sure everyone's very clear on the order of operations of what you're doing.
Brandon.
You made a good idea, Brad. That's a very good idea. I've never seen that. Man, the pressure. You want to make sure and not overburn it, but you don't want to miss it either. But then again, having that jig actually makes it to where if you have to go back to
I'm not going to brand anything. I'm just going to use grout.
I'm just going to CNC every one of my projects so I can put grout in it.
Good job. Stuff Seth makes.
That's a good channel. Make sure you subscribe to that.
We're going to see his 90th like.
Click that red sub button down there.
Yeah. All right.
Good glamour shots.
Ooh, look at those nice pavers. That's what I'm doing for the patio.
Yeah. Those are great shots. I kind of, you know what? I'm sticking around for the glamour shots. He's got
the little Zen garden going.
Yeah.
Although I don't find like the water peaceful.
Is it too loud in the mix? Is that the problem?
It sounds too much like a bathroom.
He's like, no, it's just because you can't swim.
I would have gone more.
The secret. Ben gets in water, he just sinks to the bottom.
Walnut? Was it walnut bells?
Yeah, I think so. That's really beautiful. Great job. Stuff Seth makes. Killer channel. Great video. Big ups.
This is what one sheet of plywood, 4 nails, a piece of glass.
I remember this one.
Yeah.
I remember
the early one.
I remember the way this one hinges is really
First
interesting
it started
as well.
out like this, then like this. This used a bit too much material, and these were just a mess. But eventually ended up with this.
I like that.
Minus the wings.
There we go. Clean it up.
That had a very like crisp feel to it.
Yeah.
Like a minus the wings. Boom. And then like a
little ender. Just like boom.
My name's Jason and welcome to JG Woodcraft. Today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful entertainment unit using only 1 sheet of plywood, 1 piece of glass, 4 nails, and 4 dowels. This project is my official entry into the Rockler Plywood Challenge hosted by Modern Maker
really well made.
Podcast.
Like if you look at like all the angles,
The design is original
all
and I spent quite a
all
lot
the
of time
gaps,
going
all the
through
spacing on the
iterations and
door.
making it fit
Chris
into
could
1
take
sheet
some
of
notes
plywood.
on this, on the gaps between the door and the frame.
Unfortunately, some
Chris,
of my
I hope you're
footage was
watching,
missing,
man.
so I'll try to explain it
Yeah,
as I
step
go.
your game up.
Hope you enjoy.
Oh, so he's using the square.
Circular saw, I cut off the edges for the base pieces. Then I took the rest of the sheet through the table saw to cut the pieces that would make up the bottom, top, and sides.
It's a cool outfeed table. I like that. The
This is my
Midas
first time
extended
working
past
with
the
such a
saw.
large piece of plywood. These sheets run for about $160 to $200 a piece here, so I really
a
want to be
sheet of
careful.
steel is actually less than a sheet of plywood.
Wow. Yeah, so not because we haven't decided on it at all, but we've been messing around with a lot of sheet metal, a lot of plate steel. That might be a challenge opportunity too, because I don't think there's anything more that people talk about wanting to get into more than like welding or working with metal and stuff like that. So maybe putting on a challenge with a little bit of like oomph behind it might get people.
Yeah, we're thinking of some sort of maybe metal challenge.
These are actually made
doing
up
a
of
category for
pieces
welding and a category for no welding.
Exactly.
But
I set the blade on
nothing
my
decided
table
yet.
at 45 degrees.
You're right.
The first
It'd be pretty cool if in our no welding category, winners could win welders. So then you could go from having no metal experience, no tools, just maybe a riveter or a couple of like an angle grinder and some stuff, to going to being fully outfitted.
Out to
I
Ryobi.
took them over to the table saw to cut a slot in them to accept the glass shelf in the center.
No weld challenge. People are digging it. Keith, what's up, brother?
Now it was finally time to dry fit everything together and see how it looks.
Nice.
We don't
After
use
messing with
glass
the
at all.
positioning and squaring everything up,
You
No.
don't use glass.
I
Nah,
glued
after using
everything
mirrors, I'm scared of anything.
Footage not found.
After mirrors, I'm
everything
done with
that was
glass
left to do was
products.
cut the front and back doors of the side cabinets to their
Like a lot of my
sides.
buddies that are
The
furniture
backs are glued
makers,
in.
like their go-to
Up to
move
240 grit
Is
before
make
is to
the
build a
base
base and get a piece of glass on
two
top.
coats of white
Yeah.
on poly.
It's a good way to, like, if you do make a really cool base, it's a great way to highlight it.
His precision is like pretty incredible.
Yep.
I would have had to like sand those all rounded.
Yeah.
This
Like-
is my entertainment unit.
That's really
I'm
clean.
going to put my TV on it, a PS4,
Yeah,
some
this
accessories
is
and a
he's
speaker.
basically Chris.
more games,
Yep.
and an Apple TV.
And a bunch of pop cards.
Maybe I'll put it like this,
Maybe I'll put it like this.
or like this.
I like it.
That's
But
impressive.
it's mine, made for me, and
Very
I can
clean.
do what I want with it.
Well done. Was this Jason?
Hope you enjoyed this build. My name's Jason, and thank you for watching JG Woodcraft.
Great work.
AG Woodcraft. Good job.
Very clean video.
Give him a sub. Guy's got skills.
Bounty versus
Oh, man. All right, let's watch this trash project. Here we go.
the quicker picker-upper.
Today we're gonna make.
Today we're going to make
This guy's voice is super annoying. Oh yes.
Hello, and welcome to the Modern Maker Podcast.
Oh, no.
Today is Thursday, April
Whoa.
19th, 2018. Today we are going to talk about
Oh, he's
the Rockler Plywood
listening.
Challenge. It's officially kicking off.
So here's my first question, Chris.
Yes,
This is so weird.
What are the
Listen.
material constraints?
material constraints. 1 sheet of plywood.
One sheet of
Any kind of plywood thickness.
1 sheet of plywood.
I like this.
Zombie walk.
I think I've got an idea. Got
Oh.
this piece of paper.
This is very
Oh.
Casey Neistat. I like this.
Of 12
This is clean.
birch ply. I'm going to use every last little millimeter. So the first step.
So that's interesting. A lot of times that's what I do when I'm building cut lists, but he did it in real life prior to the build. That's smart.
This really is awesome.
Right, not up close. So I can turn that down a little bit. There we go.
Nice.
So I managed to get them 3 panels out and mounted them. And the next step is to get this bottom panel out here.
We'll go somewhere only we can.
He's a really good at it.
We'll speak.
And first vocals.
More
showing
jigsaw.
up. First musical vocals.
Yeah, for real.
All that I never
I just can't afford the license Johnny Cash song.
Yeah. So we were talking about that the other day too. Is the idea of when people want to cut in their video from talking on camera to then a montage of them working, and a lot of times that's with instrumental music. But this is a cool way of adding some vocals. I like that.
This editing is ridiculous.
Nice.
Okay, so I've managed to cut my top and side panels. So I need to leave it another glue down the middle. This time without
Put that sub back.
the outline.
Dude, Jay Miggs can make videos.
We also met at Maker Central. Should have been there, man. You missed out.
In adult shit. Yeah, I love the good snap.
Go somewhere only we can.
All right. For the sake of time, we're gonna bounce a few minutes in.
We'll speak slowly. world gets faster with
I like how we can put the little inspirational quotes on his fence. Get those little messages.
What would your quote be? All right, people. Let's hear some good quotes for your table saw fence. You can make a really good pun for that, right? No one ever became great by riding the fence. You know? That one didn't land? Come on.
Wait. Is that plywood that he's using, or is he using something else to make that textured surface?
I don't know.
This is the one Chris was talking about.
Hang on. I think we're about to see it.
That texture of the door is something I've been thinking about a lot.
You meant me with the better smooth.
See?
Wow. Okay.
All right, we gotta find.
All right, we're gonna go back. We're going back. Here we go, people. Okay, looks like he's still putting the case together.
We'll speak slowly, but
See, look at that use of the masking tape. That's the second person we've seen do that. That's really clever. He's splitting it.
Wow.
That's next level.
Yep.
So I've been thinking about this of just randomizing texture. You talk to any designers, they always talk about texture, and it's about mixing, okay, smooth versus something kind of rough or something organic.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking the plywood, splitting it in half, getting that roughness, and then like processing it through the table saw to get that kind of like striated geological texture.
We're about to get the close up right here. Look at that.
So I wanted to do that with sort of like a matte gray finish.
Yeah.
That's
clean.
I also think you can do something like that with maybe one of those like wire stripping brushes.
Yeah.
And like a softer wood.
Sweetly about all the little
Right. Little help from mom.
Perfect. Been there. You know what I used to have my mom do all the time? Is anytime I had painted furniture, she likes to paint, and it's like the bane of my existence. So I would just have her paint the cabinets after I did one coat on camera.
I would guess to do that. Jay makes.
Yeah. Great project.
This guy edits.
Really clean. He made those dowels out of plywood for the feet. That's very clean. Little leather touch. All around, great project. Really clean edit.
Beyond clean, it was a very creative edit.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. A lot of times you see a really clean edit, but it's very, very derivative. There were definitely some like moments of inspiration with like the slapping the paper down, like with the overhead shot and all that kind of stuff. But all in all, there was some really cool stuff in there that I'd never seen before. So great project. Great video.
Check them out.
Here we go.
Next this one's.
We're on random, so it's never the one that you think it is.
Kicking off the inaugural video on the channel.
32
being
modern
of the
vases.
Rockler Plywood Challenge put on by the Modern Podcast. And yeah, take one sheet of plywood, something
This
interesting.
should be like.
A lot of people did.
You know what's funny? A lot of people are taking all my concrete bases and they use them to make wedding centerpieces.
Very unique, modern style wooden.
Yeah, you could have one of these on like every one of the tables at a wedding.
I apologize for the video quality, as I'm still trying to get everything started here.
So this is his first video.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, this is his first video, man. This is great. The fact that people are making their first video on this challenge is amazing. All right, while you get one, I'll finish this one.
Pieces for each individual vase. Judging by the test tubes that I'd ordered off Amazon, I had figured out that each vase is going to take about 6
Test tubes are definitely something to work into a project.
material. So I decided to break down the sheets into that and then break them down farther from there.
Jesse's in the chat. She's watching.
I also learned during this project that using my cell phone as my main form of camera is not the best option and sometimes leads to some troubles.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. After the plywood was broken up into the chunks that would make the individual vases, I then had to cut.
What?
The cool thing about having
what is it, some kind of chilada? I'm not going to drink it. I can't do it.
Kind of fall into a pile.
You can have as much of that as you want.
Looking pieces.
I'm not touching it.
So one of our friends brought this over.
Extremely sharp.
Michelob Chilada. I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what it is? It's got clam juice in it. Careful. We got a mic on the table.
I cannot reiterate on these vases.
A
has
lot
to
of
be
sanding.
sanded down.
Savor that.
At
A
least
lot
twice
of
before you
sanding.
get to finish. I started with an 80 grit and then moved to a 120 grit.
It just tastes
And I
like,
just kept going.
it smells like New England.
Everything was at least
That's kind of like a
somewhat perfect.
It's like a Bloody Mary with some kind of seafood juice.
I think it'd be a good like hangover drink. So
yeah, if you need to throw up and get it out of your system, 100%. You know what I like about this one?
Finish.
This is one where it's actually better because you didn't use bulk acrylic. Like the thicker things for that scale are perfect.
These were in the fact that I had
This is also one where I would try mixing in some colored stains. Some tinted colored stains for those could be really hot.
Just picked them up with a set of pliers, dunked them in, drained off
It's an
the
interesting way of
excess,
finishing
and let
too.
them to the side to
Dude,
dry.
I would do
I
that.
left it a little
I would do
thick,
that.
I'm a dipper.
more
I'm curious to whether
but
like
it
that
was
makes
so
it
much
easier
better.
if you have to end up sanding and sanding and sanding later on.
Much better than
Like if it causes too much buildup.
Yeah, but can you imagine like wiping that and then like trimming it? You're gonna leave fingerprints all over it anyway.
Yeah.
To sanding. Told you, sanding takes forever. Normally with pit
So,
wax, you just
I wanna
have to
develop
hit with
a rock
hand
tumbler
sand
for
to
wood.
just kind of clean it up. But I was trying to go a little bit faster, so I
So
started
polishing
using this
rocks, you
palm
just
sander
throw them
right
in
now.
this thing with some
But the
grit
problem
and it
with
just
the
does it
palm sander is that
automatically.
even
You
with
need to
the
make the
400
wood
grit
version of that.
Well, what would happen if you just put wood in the
finish
rock?
coat and like left
It would
like
disintegrate
globs
eventually.
of
Well,
plastic or
the
something.
grit would like
It just ended,
burnish
the project
into it.
was done.
Yeah.
I ended up with a bunch of these bud
Nice.
vases.
And I like that they're all random,
with
too.
one sheet
He
of
didn't go with,
plywood
like,
or
one
just
shape
that
for
little
all of them.
scrap you have lying around from that other project you were doing. Doesn't take a whole lot of wood to make one of these, and they actually turned out really good.
Those look really good.
There you have it.
Boom.
One sheet of plywood.
Etsy
couple
store.
days worth of
Open it.
work.
Totally.
You're
A bunch
rich.
of these vases that are perfect for a craft fair.
Awesome. And that's the first video too. So make sure how does make. There we go.
All right, 15 subscribers, now 16.
Let's get a couple
What's
more.
up?
By 21 inches. Hey,
Great video. Mad Woman in a Blue Box. I remember adding this one to the playlist and thinking, what in the world is this?
Hey, would you give me the screws for this?
Yeah, hold on. Hey, where are they?
They're in the drawers.
Where are the drawers?
What do you mean where are the drawers? They're over there where they always are.
There's just this blue box. Did you put this in?
No. Where'd that come from?
Hmm. Well, there's. Did you put those in there?
No. What's huh. Jelly baby?
All right, there you go.
Oh, it's from that Doctor Who show. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it. Some good teamwork.
So that's like a time traveling device from a TV show we've never seen.
I think so.
Gotcha. But it, like, are the Jelly Bellies like part of that show? Like part of the thing? All right.
Maybe. Either way, it's not gonna lie. You like it?
This is terrible.
Okay, good, because it's so bad. That's what I said. I thought you were gonna get it saying, not gonna lie. I like it. Good. You have so much of it to drink. All right. See, now this is where I don't know if there would be a lot of productive. I don't know if we would save so much time if we were working in conjunction the same way, Ben. They're working as a great team. I don't know if it would speed us up the same amount.
So we had camera issues again, and we lost a lot of the footage we shot last time. So
We've made this. We haven't drank the same beer twice. That's so great.
Well, this is in
So what we did, we
memorandum of us crushing Brad and John at beer pong.
There we go.
so we can make sure they were square.
Brad,
Put glue in Brad's
John, we will beat you in beer pong, whether we're playing with Bud Light,
and did the same for the other
Modelo,
side.
or some kind of weird craft beer. We'll even drink this nasty clam juice if you want.
And, once that was all dry, then we took the two.
This reminds me of like model making in architecture school.
Them together.
Yeah, but yeah.
A lot of basswood.
Been
Running
there?
for the TARDIS was a bit complicated for us to figure out because with so many doctors and so many different TARDISes, there's a lot of different routes.
Mm. Oh, so the booths change throughout the episode.
Yep.
Okay, spray painter. Ever used one?
No.
They're awesome. Pain in the ass to clean.
That's it, yeah.
Like you have to, like we used it for the shed, and it was good for that because it was so much. But for anything smaller, you're just like, ooh, you start thinking
Get
about
a couple cans.
You start thinking about how much work it is just to clean it, and you're like, nope. Also, really hot weather doesn't work well.
Yeah. So that's cool. So a couple minutes ago, they were just talking about what they were going to do based off the different versions of. It's called the TARDIS. I know that. And but that's cool. So they're like keeping it. I'm sure they're building it to scale, like to certain like exact dimensions and all that kind of stuff. So that's really neat. That's the patience I don't
This
have.
is our entry into the Rockler Plywood Challenge, brought to you by the
Well
Modern Maker
done.
Podcast.
That is Madam Coyote's
Shout out
workshop.
to our friend
Boom.
Joy
Awesome
Elizabeth,
project.
Who made the lovely police public call box
Well done.
for us.
She's an
Give him a sub.
amazing
Give him a
artist.
I did. I already did.
Welcome everybody to Built by Hutch. Today, we're building my entry for the hashtag Rockler Plywood Challenge
Those are some
put
heavy
on by the
bolts.
guys.
They
at
are,
Modern Maker
yeah.
Podcast.
What with the hex head? I mean, that's
Industrial.
nice. It doesn't.
The idea
You don't see that sort of finished driver
There's a lot of
screw head.
lamp designs online.
All right. So we just got some requests
Tested
for
making a laser
some
cut.
specific project videos.
Now, the first
So if it
one
gets
is
down to like
about
15 minutes
12
left, we might do a little bit of
pieces
picking and choosing at
and
the
then
end.
sketching
We'll
it
see.
out on this piece of plywood. Then after I had those first couple pieces,
All right, we'll go a little quicker through.
Okay.
So we get more. We want to get more people in.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So we're in the
So
the
first of all,
plywood breakdown stage.
Big thing here: stand-up lamps. Excellent project that's underrepresented, right? A lot of people do like a desk lamp.
Yeah.
But
a floor lamp.
But if you look at like a furniture store, it's the big floor-mounted lamp that goes like over a sofa, like it's a big crane on.
And those are
They're
the ones.
expensive.
I was about to say those are the ones that are $1,000.
But they're not expensive to build.
It's all simple materials, man. You gotta pick up some hollow brass rod.
Doing all this cuts with the router bit.
Freehand. Very bold move.
This guy is a shaper.
The original.
But where's his
shaper.
domino tape?
Uh-oh. How does he know where he's cutting?
He's gotta look at his phone screen.
Filled with water, tools.
Ooh, the bucket
anything
clamp.
fun
I like
and
it.
heavy.
Just fill a
And then
5-gallon
the
bucket
clamps
with
I did
water.
have on the A-frame part
I
of
can
it.
get with that.
Quick, how much does 5 gallons of water weigh?
It was time for the
86
trim.
pounds.
Now, buying from their site was actually a really nice experience. They had a
Looks like
ton of
color
colors of cord, more fun parts
Color
of the
cord.
project.
Shout out to
I'll
Color
definitely
Cord.
be ordering.
Color cord's pretty great.
These are
Watch that not even be
cord
color cord.
guides.
It looks like color
So that
cord though.
the-
All right, here we go.
The grand reveal.
Got
So
that
this
down.
reminded me of my little doghouse that I made.
Oh, with a bunch of the zip
Which I
tie.
actually got a request from a restaurant. They wanted to use that as a giant chandelier.
Nice.
I like the hex bolts.
I do too.
So one thing you can do with those hex bolts is you can take the angle grinder with the flat disc and grind them down so they're a little bit thinner, so they don't quite protrude as much, and you can take off those numbers too.
Yeah. That's
nice.
cool. That's really nice. Have that over your chair that you can read at. Or whatever.
Awesome. So that was the modern Dymaxion lamp. You know what Dymaxion is from?
Not a clue.
It's from like this old like 1920s kind of like series. I think it's
Oh, so when you were,
stuff.
so yeah, that was one of your shows you watched when you were young.
Yeah. But it was Buckminster Fuller did all these like futuristic things back in the day. And he created this Dymaxion car, the Dymaxion house. So it's like this sort of a retro version of
enjoyed the video.
Nice.
Subscribe to see what I have.
How well does it hold up?
Have a
That
great
version
week,
of the
everybody.
future to
He did a lot of stuff that's like relevant today. He was kind of like one of those like Tesla kind of figures, like visionary.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the Bear Make It YouTube channel. Today we're
That's a
going
good
to
logo.
this old coffee
Bear
table
Make It.
with this
Yep.
new coffee table.
Oh,
I
this
remember
one's
this
got
one.
pattern.
Yep.
Right, so the coffee table that we're making.
This guy might win
is
for most
all
amount of
coming
sawdust
from
created.
one sheet. of
Yeah.
plywood. The guys over at the Modern Maker Podcast.
That would be us.
Good
Get those
podcast.
shout outs.
I've been
I
checking
appreciate it.
fence on my table saw to make sure I could get the other edge to be parallel.
Wow. Okay.
That's going to make it here when I'm gluing 3 panels
Holy.
together. I know I have parallel.
That looks
sides
like
on all
woven
of them.
bamboo.
So I get
Yeah.
nice gap-free glue up, and I just use clamps on the seams to ensure everything stays flat when I glue up. And then that's set until the
It's
next
also
day
interesting
after
seeing
work.
the clamps
I can
people
come
choose,
back and
like
start
what
work on
clamps people use
flattening
for what
all these
applications.
out.
I've never used those screw
Which
clamps.
Was a
They're
chore.
like old school kind of.
Oh, the pipe clamps?
No.
Pretty good to get
I'm
started.
gonna rewind in a sec. These kinds. round
that's
circle.
it. Until
You
the
ever
next
used these
day
before?
after work,
No.
I could come
Me
back
neither.
and
I
start
wonder if
work on
they're
Can you use like a drill
Flattening
to
the
just
weeks out,
suck them in?
which was a chore. Belt
Shout out to
sander did
Ryobi.
Pretty good
Good belt sander.
start.
you can't shout out Ryobi
Relatively
every time
flat
someone uses a Ryobi.
around
I know. I just do it almost every time.
inside on the long side.
So he's using
The short
his.
side
So that's kind of a good. You ever use your level as just a straight edge?
with the
Yeah.
top out of the
Yeah.
way.
They should make a level that has like good clamp grooves.
Yeah. All right. I got to shout out someone in the chat here. Clem Kadiddleman. Anyone think this challenge should have been sponsored by Glue? LOL.
No, it's,
Man, if we could have had Gorilla Glue on this,
a little bit wider than the strips were.
I would
how
go
many
on that.
pounds of, or gallons?
Inch and a half thick.
Yeah.
And
Like if there's like 1,000
really just gonna
projects,
Yeah.
and each one
the
used
strips,
like a
I
quarter
cut them in the
of
small
a
A
gallon.
quarter
pieces
gallon?
to make
Yeah. A couple hundred gallons of glue.
I used about.
sections. But here
I
I
used
was
a full
building
bottle.
up a thicker base
I didn't use
around
any
the
glue.
perimeter, and then a strip in the middle.
I just used a robot.
You might
just to
have
make sure
needed
it's
some.
nice and rigid. It isn't gonna just sag over
Oh, wait,
time.
you can see that.
Keep it kid friendly for the sponsors.
Yeah.
Clean up the leg sections, and then
I don't think we have
the
monetization on
legs
this
to make
channel
sure
either.
they were nice and structurally sound.
That's cool. So do some brad nails and sand it all
Oh,
flush.
that's nice. Material efficient, and he's using the same width of strips that he cut down from table saw originally.
Exactly.
First time I've used the brad nailer.
And then interlocking them too.
First
so it's
time using
making
brad
little
nailer.
finger
Brad
joints.
nailer is
I got
raw.
one a while ago.
Brad nailer is
There. Make sure that you
boss.
paid attention and didn't put a long piece where a short piece needed to go, or vice versa.
It was weird.
This is
I
where
got
gotta
approached by
work
like a
with
TV
that
show,
little bit
and
to
they
make
were
sure
asking
it's
about like,
down
okay,
the
so have you
ends.
do like tricks with like a hammer and nail? I'm like, I never use a hammer and
I
nail.
can't think of the last
I
time
would
I
like
used this and hit my fingers like half the time. Like I could
kind of use a brad nailer.
Reinforcement to
Yeah.
make sure those legs still wanna splay
Like
out.
when's the last time you actually drove a nail with a hammer?
It's been a long time.
Lateral pressure on the table. You want to make sure they stay nice and rigid.
This is coming together pretty
Around
cool.
the edges.
Everything's just kind of built upon itself. It's not relying on
Here's
too
where
many
I kind of
jigs or
round
anything like
over.
that.
I just use sandpaper to.
This is like a patient and dedication project. Oh, the
Put in
old.
cracks and just little.
But I don't think so,
tiny
because
seams that need to be attached
this
to.
is assembling really quick with the brad nail. He's not. He doesn't have to wait for any glue to dry. Really,
But that tabletop took some time.
cutting down all those
Finally
strips
get
on
a
that tabletop
reinforcement
though.
finish.
Yeah,
Which that's part of any project when you get
necessary.
Look at that,
Sanding
look
for
at that.
jam
I can see the
Wow,
grain. In this case, it's plywood ingrain, but
That's
it's
awesome.
still
Top.
very cool to just see the
It's like a
different
flannel.
layers and stripes come out.
Yeah.
big up.
Don't bump the
And
camera.
I just used 2 coats of shellac.
Shellac.
I enjoyed doing it.
Nice.
And again, a huge thank you to the Modern Maker podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Mike, Chris,
Me too.
and Ben for putting on the challenge with Rockler.
Absolutely.
It was a lot
Bare
of fun
naked.
to do this project.
Kind of like bare
don't think
naked. I
would've
like
done
it.
without
I didn't know if I was supposed to say bare maked or bare naked when I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah,
so
one
now
of
I
the-
know.
One of the worst bands from my generation.
Bare naked.
Ladies.
Never heard of it.
Terrible.
All
the
right.
challenge,
Good to
so
know.
I appreciate it.
Great video too.
This is what one
Hey,
should
we
have.
saw that one.
Hi, today.
Uh-oh.
Oh yes, Mortgage and Mitre. This is super pro.
This one,
It's
this one's clean.
all plywood.
Chris Crawford.
Not those cushions.
Hey guys,
Chris
thanks
with
for
a
checking out
K,
my channel.
Canadian Chris.
This is
The
my
cushions
entry
aren't
for the
plywood.
Rockler Modern Maker Podcast.
When I did like the
Plywood
3
Challenge.
tool project,
I want to design
people
a
always like,
mid-century
you use
modern
clamps,
chair.
clamps and tools.
So
I'm like,
set
I
off
said
finding
3
some
power
designs
tools.
that I could translate into a plywood
You know what
version.
I'm
I
saying?
used my 3D
This is a
model to
great
be able to make
project.
2D
It's a
templates,
great project.
and then imported these 2D designs into easel so I could
We're
cut
giving
the
us a
pieces
subscribe.
out on my X-Card.
Morgan and Miter, he gave us
So
a
even
shout out on
though these
Instagram
were
for this
cut out
video
on CNC, they did have some rough edges. So after cleaning them up,
for the live
I
stream.
started breaking down my plywood and cutting all my pieces to rough dimension. The plywood I used for this project was Baltic birch, which comes
He's
in
a
a 5x5
project guy.
That's what I
sheet,
said. Yeah.
and I actually end up only using half a sheet. No big deal. There was a lot of repetition in this project. So right off the bat, I started roughing out some of my larger pieces
He's a post
before
smart
gluing
guy.
everything up. I actually glued this up as a batch just to kind of save on clamps and make sure
You
I
only
wasn't
used half a
using,
sheet.
you know, too many clamps
Deduction. No, I'm kidding.
just to work, which worked great for
So
a
this is
full
where we were
coverage
talking
area.
about rafts and file the other day. He
Leaving
really,
it loosely fit
he really
together made it
smoothed
a
out
lot
all those
easier to
joints
pull
really great
apart
by
and use
hand.
some of the fine shaping,
That
as
was a
well as
router?
inserting the slot. But for the sake of time,
So,
I
like,
put
flat
my
disc.
hand grinder with an 80 grit flat disc to work, which worked great for a bulk of the material.
Wow.
Leaving it
Sometimes you
loosely fit
just gotta-
together made it a lot
sometimes you just
easier
gotta
to pull it
throw in
apart
some
and use
elbow
some of the
grease.
fine shaping, as well as inserting the slots in the seat portion, which I later come back and use a weave for to build the base of the chair. The one thing I didn't account for was the joinery
an ice
on the
pick?
back of the chair. So what I ended up doing is using dowels. So I centered basically a mark on my back stretcher, and I used that mark to center the dowel that I inserted into the back
One of those
stretcher.
small Forstner bits.
Nice. Making a little mortise and tenon.
I also realized at this point
This
that
is really
with the way it would
so this
attach
is
to
one
the
you
base of the
definitely
back,
want to use ball
it
pig
was
first.
going to
You want to use a
interfere
really
with where
strong
the webbing was
multi-lam.
going for the
Because you're really relying on
So I just
smaller
cut out some
sections.
notches, then back to the router to finish shaping. If this is your first time to my channel, I just really want to say thanks. Super appreciate the support, and if you like what you see, maybe hit that
gorgeous.
thumbs up button.
It's such a nice
And if you
chair.
really like what you see, maybe consider hitting that subscribe
We're right
button.
up to 500
So I cut the
subscribers.
fronts of
Let's
the
get them there.
armrests
Come on,
vertically at about
everybody
15
watching,
degrees on my
click the
table saw,
subscribe
so
button.
they
Some
match
serious
the
woodworking
geometry
right here.
This is
of
good
the
stuff.
inside supports.
All right, I'm starting to get antsy.
So
I
for
kind of
those
want
of
to.
you
I want
that
to
are
kind of. I want
counting
to see these plywood layers all sculpted
finish,
out.
I just used a satin polyurethane on the chair. I did about
Nice.
3 or 4 coats of this
I'm a satin
just to
guy.
make sure I had
Yeah.
as much coverage as possible.
Anything
The ends of
other
the
than
plywood
gloss.
were super thirsty.
Gloss
If I
is
only
black.
made one in
Sucked
a
up a lot
flannel.
of the polyurethane. So it's good.
It's the polyurethane in the
After 3 or
flannel.
4 Saturdays of messing around in the garage, the chair was finally done.
Here we go. Nice. Good shots too.
Nicely staged.
So if you made it this far, thanks again for tuning in. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next
Well done.
build.
That's a beautiful chair.
So I love this taper right here. I'm going to use the mouse so everyone can see what I'm talking about. This taper on the back of the back leg. It comes down to like this vampire state. It really lightens it up so much.
Yeah.
That's great. See, that's a really classic design. I think we had mentioned that before. Like that's a super kind of classic chair, but he just like really put a twist on it by just making everything able to be a vampire steak if it needs to be.
Great. This is one I've been really wondering about for a long time.
Are you going out of order now?
Well, I wanted to know how this plastic's like.
Yeah.
We didn't get any requests. So ever since I saw like Wobie's colored plywood stuff,
Yeah.
I've been interested in sort of inserting sort of layers of color into plywood. And so it looks like he's using some sort of like colored MDF.
Like a press board, yeah.
Or he's just making templates. Oh, he just drew that all with the compass.
Yeah.
Man.
And now making a reference so that every inch he knows how far he needs to be carving in.
This is really nice.
That's nice. All right.
Have you done any wood turning?
Yeah. I did a pendant lamp that was the last project I did before
So
I
this is
came
what
out
they used to do before 3D modeling.
Yeah, they used actual math. Crazy. All right, so let's see what he's putting in between all of these layers.
Yeah, use that finger.
Well, it looks like more wood. All right.
See that color.
Where's the color? Okay, so that's one block. So you're gonna do multiple blocks. And then between each of those blocks, I wonder what lathing plywood is like.
Lathing?
Yeah, because there's no way you're getting nice ribbons with that. It's got to be like splinters and shards coming at you like crazy.
Breathing a lot of like glue.
All right, so far so good. Rough shaping.
Like the sound.
Ah, here we go. Plexiglass.
Acrylic.
Red acrylic.
Oh, it's clear.
You know, that just made me think. They make hella colored like vinyl records. You could do vinyl records in there. Ooh. Instead of like all the cheap ones are black because those are all the like crappy thrift store vintage ones.
So you're using a 2-part epoxy to glue the acrylic to the wood. I'm envious of people that make videos without voiceover. Voiceover. Hate doing it.
I know, man. This is the most you've ever talked in your life. Remember? Center it.
Yeah, it's slippery. It's slippery.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna go up in stages until we start final shaping. Man, that looks really cool.
Wait, he is using the chisel tools on the acrylic.
Yep.
That is hotness. You see the one you did like one with blue too.
Yeah.
What do you drink out of those? Like mead? A jug of wine from medieval times?
That's the question. Is it medieval or is it like futuristic?
Futuristic medieval.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get in there.
Nice. All right, time to put the finish on.
Yeah.
The money shot.
Those rings of color add a lot to it.
Yeah. It's cool seeing all those layers of the plywood spinning even too.
And I like that he didn't add them evenly. Like they're sort of randomly spaced.
I think
that's really nice.
Beautiful. Great work, Andy Phillip, the wood turning guru. That was good. That was really great.
Mixing in some color.
Nice stand.
And he didn't have to recycle 1 million skateboards.
Got him.
You can do the color challenge.
Yeah. Flip top planar cards. Okay. So this makes me immediately think of Brad's flip top kind of stand. I'm kind of curious to see how it's different.
1 sheet of plywood. Single sheet challenge. Yep. Use the hashtag Rockler Plywood Challenge.
Challenge accepted.
I know there's no way that a unremarkable shop furniture piece is going to win this contest, but it gave me an excuse to build it. All right, let's go.
Okay. All right. Let's see it.
This project, just like every other plywood project, starts by breaking down a sheet of plywood.
Yeah, we've come to figure that out. It all starts with just breaking that shit down.
It'd be weird if you started chewing it up.
There's thick. The middle layer was not complete. It was just pieces where the things on top need to screw into, just where it needed to be bulky. So I pre-drilled and screwed all those top pieces into place.
They normally save the metal for like welding and metal work.
Yeah.
So I'm little.
Yeah, that's the Bob move. That's what Bob from I Like to Make Stuff does. He's got different music for different like styles of videos. So he'll use the like techie, like
For,
the
like,
techno
laser
type,
cutters.
like arpeggio shit for all of his 3D printing stuff, and then he'll break out the like the riffs for the woodworking and metalworking.
Pencil.
Nice.
For the third layer, I marked where I could put screws in and not hit the screws underneath.
Been
and
there.
I marked a line. Well,
I've done so many.
Okay, that's what I'm sitting. I'm waiting for you to go because I know. Listen, I haven't seen you do it, but I know. I've watched you work, and I know you hit screws on screws.
So with the Great Store,
yeah,
we were doing so much stacked plywood, and we were in such time constraints. There were so many times where it's just like every time you hit screw on screw, you're just like. Because
it's ready to completely
It doesn't just screw up that screw. Because often if you already put in 3 perfectly good screws, it jacks up. We're using an impact driver. The impact driver is so powerful, it rips some of the plywood apart.
Yeah.
The hole I drew on it and the hole I'm drilling are 2 completely different sizes. I had a change of plans midstream. The nut.
All right, I'm kind of curious to see how this one operates because I remember how Brad's does, so I want to see what his mechanism is.
Put my top on.
Nice.
Use
Drill
these
the hole
nuts.
for the spring bolt to go through.
Not
And
those
spring
nuts.
bolt
These
out of the wheels, and boom.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
They done.
Similar mechanism.
Yeah.
Awesome. We need shop furniture.
We need shop furniture.
It's flawed, but it does what I wanted it to do.
Good work. I would love to see something like that that also has extending beds, because I think that's the really common practice to put on there. It's a planer, some kind of oscillating or spindle sander, the kind of stuff that you use like one every 8 projects, so that when you have to flip it, it's not such a big deal. I think some extending beds on one side would be really interesting. A gaming table. How many times do you have people asking for you to build a gaming table? Because it's up there for me.
I've never.
Really, a lot of people ask for me to build a gaming table, but I don't do these kind of games, so.
Friends are a bunch of losers.
Huh? Are you hating on my viewers right now?
A little bit.
I will fight you for my viewers.
On behalf of their honor.
Yeah, I will defend my viewers' honor. That's a cool shot.
Yeah.
It's letting you know where everything came from.
Trees.
First, it came from this seed.
Oh, is that the glue bot?
How do you make the glue bot better? There we go.
Yeah.
Let's comment on that.
We want to make a better glue bot.
We want to, yeah. You know what I hate about the glue bot? It's got a crappy nozzle. Glue dries up in there, and it's not very easy to clean out. And also, it feels kind of like crappy plastic. It's a little too squishy.
I always worry I'm gonna like nail my hand. You ever do that?
I did it one time. It hurt. It was just under my fingernail. Not fun.
I just have this cut now.
Ah, you poor guy. Broke skin. Come on, you can do it.
I almost died.
Almost. Good thing we have the first aid kit.
So like gaming is, I would think, when I say gaming though, I think like gambling.
Right.
This is like more like Settlers of Catan. I don't think you can play that for money.
You can play anything for money. Yeah. That's the thing. There's like a huge revival of like physical like board games.
I mean, the Plywood Challenge is technically a board game.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
I didn't say. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
So it's a functioning dining table, which is awesome.
But don't spill a drink on it.
That's what I like most. All these little pull-outs.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Cool felt too.
So one of my buddies, Nathan Lotka, super into Settlers of Catan, like fanatically into it.
And
I've never tried it. I mean, I'm sure it's fun, but
yeah, I played. Whenever I was young, I played one game of Risk with my family,
Takes
like my
fucking
extended
forever.
family. It took forever, and I'd never seen my family heated like this before. Like everyone's so nice, and everyone just gets along. People were literally ready to like physically stab each other in the back.
some
to, like,
hard
advance
to
in this
pronounce
game.
names too.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Good
Keep moving.
project.
We got a lot of videos to go.
That's a good
How
one.
many have we watched? 28?
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do 5 videos, guys. We've only got about 20 minutes left, so we're gonna do 5 videos. If you don't make it, I apologize. Maybe you'll be in the wrap-up episode. We'll find out. Here we go.
I was asked if I could make this table for an upcoming wedding, but make it cheap. This one's made out of a slab.
That looks like.
There's nothing cheap about a slab.
Is that 1/2-inch plywood?
The client agreed to let me experiment
No, 3/4.
with a piece of plywood.
So this is the cheapest way to make a table. Put some legs, throw them on a sheet of plywood.
Totally.
Drawing some
And it's actually cheaper than
lines on the
renting
side.
tables for weddings.
My idea is to take this piece of plywood and try to copy what looks like a piece of solid.
So we're doing a live
live
edge plywood.
This is pretty fun.
Edge banding. Oh, okay. So that's cool.
Slice through the edge of it. to
This
create a
totally
nice-
makes sense. It's almost like set design.
Yeah, it's not.
down nice
So
and tight so you don't
I was kind of worried that it would look cheesy because you see the plywood layers.
to
Okay.
making
But if it's cheaper than
Can
sort of
make
like
your rest,
renting a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That podcast. Wrong podcast.
So you should check
How
out
dare
that
you?
podcast.
What?
It's pretty awesome.
That's a terrible podcast that I listen to every episode.
Okay, I gotta rewind. I gotta
This
hear
is
what he
pretty
said
sad
about
stuff,
this.
that glue.
Was he ragging on us, or was it actually good?
But again, we're just experimenting. This is pretty fun. Take a razor and you can just slice through the edge of it to create a nice seam. Be sure to hold it down nice and tight because you don't want to rip up that glue. In the background, you can hear me listening to the Making It podcast with Jimmy.
Disgusted.
How could you plug Making It? No, I'm kidding. That's really funny.
Next video.
I wasn't expecting to see someone plug Making It on the Modern Maker podcast challenge, but that's pretty funny. I'll give him kudos on the funny on that one. All right.
Made your rest.
All right. So we're getting everything edge banded. We're wrapping it.
If you're into making stuff, you should
What are we
check
using
out
as a
their
stand?
podcast.
Oh, I think he's using shellac with.
I'm dusting it off to get it
That
ready
actually
for
looks
the
pretty
shellac.
legit. Yeah.
I like using shellac because it is a finish that goes on nice and thin. You can even thin it down even more if you want to add some denatured alcohol to it.
Nice.
It's very
Never
forgiving.
use shellac.
It doesn't leave any brush
It
strokes.
has like a good
or anything
sound though.
like
It's
that.
word like shellac.
Here, I'm just applying it directly to the table and spreading it out with another old t-shirt.
Well, lacquer sounds too yellowy. You know, like
Yeah.
lacquer, you think of like old ugly
Interesting side note.
cabinets, but shellac is
Shellac
nice.
is made from the lac bug. The
Crushing up
females
beetles.
secrete this resin that is mixed with ethanol to create this awesome finish.
Pretty legit.
I like that a lot.
I mean, if you're gonna do a wedding and do a live edge faux table for on a budget,
Yeah.
that's.
I mean, you got $100 live edge table right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well done.
Kudos. Chad Dowdell. Awesome. Dowdell? However you say it, great work. All right, 4 more. Here we go. Fingers crossed it's yours.
Hi, I'm Shane.
Ooh, another
and
floor
this
lamp.
is my
Nice.
entry into the Rockler Plywood Challenge. Please be kind in the comment
We're gonna make
section
one of
below.
the
This is my
essentials
first video.
Yeah.
Here's how I made it.
So I've actually seen a lamp very similar to that, all made out of acrylic.
Oh, okay. See, okay. So let me expose my beef. I have not seen an acrylic project that I am just like insanely in love with, outside of the fact that it's like, oh man, that's awesome that he made it out of acrylic.
What about the ghost chair?
Just the general, just like, I like the white one. I like the white one more.
This guy's organized.
Yeah. Those barn doors in the
All right.
back.
Try an RZ mask. A little more comfortable.
It's a cool little track from the saw. I like that.
Yeah. Aren't you doing a truck saw project?
Yep, no, they're coming out real soon.
Lock it down.
That's a nice finish. I don't know what kind of saw that was, but
This guy's a pro.
that was pretty nice.
You got dust collection.
Telltale sign. All right, so we're gonna break everything down. Continue to break everything down until we get to our final pieces. Whoa! All right, so this is how he's making all the shade pieces, cutting it all at one time. That's a bold move.
Yeah, I would have thought he would have gone with like the
template.
right,
The template
and the
move.
router bit.
I like this though. This is how I would think to do it. It's just like fuck it, just stack them up and cut them.
So mine, like the blade at the bottom would be over here, and the blade at the top would be like over here. Dude, I resaw some stuff on a bandsaw, and it literally was doing like a double S.
Yeah.
It wasn't even just like one blade; it was just like all of
You gotta have that. You gotta have that beefy blade in there.
Oh, you can already do acrylic?
Yeah.
That's flare.
That's flare. I like it. That's a cool sander. For a little benchtop tool, having that big 12-inch sander is cool. All right, let's put it together.
Yeah, I might want one little like curve because of the circle for the bulb is so strong. I might want a little bit of a curve for the base.
For the base, let it taper. That cool.
Very nice. And I like this was not a CNC project.
Right.
You don't need a CNC to make this kind of stuff.
Right.
You do need a glue box.
It is repetitive processes, but
So
what
is
we've
the
come to
CNC.
find out is all you have to do is just stack them up and cut them all at once. Oh, Chris is going to be really happy with this glue performance. Very, a lot of restraint. Yeah. Nice.
Double fist pump.
Hot glue, I can get with that.
The kind of craftsman we can get behind. Seriously, hot glue guns, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that.
I like that a lot.
I noticed I didn't use the whole
That's
sheet
really
of
cool.
the plywood.
Good job, Shane.
So with what was left over,
All right, 3 more projects, guys.
I made a matching table lamp.
Whoa!
Big thanks
Nice.
to the guys at the Modern Maker podcast.
Thanks for the
putting
shout
on the
out.
competition.
You're welcome.
Woodmiser, this is targeting advertisement. How did they know about our
Hi, I'm
demographics?
Bodie Pendis.
Oh,
and
sorry,
this
Bodie.
is my submission.
Hey guys, what's up? It's
All right.
Ivy Woodworks, and today we're going to be
He
making
had it a post.
this awesome chair with curve cuts, along with this awesome chair matched.
All right, son, get your shoes on.
Let's get started.
That's awesome.
What's up, guys? Now that you saw what the chairs look like, let's see how to build them. Right now, I'm ripping down this 19-inch wide sheet of birch plywood we bought for $53 at our Home Depot.
Interesting.
Super
Okay.
smooth, super nice. It's no
19
like
inch
there's
wide.
no sanding needed.
No, he's ripping it.
So once I get it ripped,
got it.
I'm gonna measure up all the curves and then start cutting the curves.
Cool. All right. Sorry, guys, that's loud.
Good dust collection system.
Yeah, I do like that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to the curve cutting, the action.
Coming up. Those mean there's air getting in there and we have to add more glue.
Oh, okay. So then we got a good tip.
No, but so you got to use that blue tape tip like the.
Check out my
Sam
other
Lee did.
video that
Yeah.
I keep bringing up of all my failures to really understand what I'm talking about. But you can see all those gaps coming up.
Yeah.
Those mean there's air getting in there and we have to add more glue.
Yeah, I think that might have been a.
All right, so now as you can see,
Now,
I'm
he's
cleaning up
painting
some of
his,
this wood glue.
so that's kind of one of those
on
considerations
top.
you don't have to keep.
All right,
But
yeah. Now
the
it's
masking
really clean.
tape.
It's not gonna be perfect.
Who did that project
But
earlier?
now I'm gonna
Sam
paint
Lee?
this over.
Sam Lee.
You're gonna see a whole bunch of wood glue ooze.
That's
out.
Wow.
I'm gonna put the weight up and just clean it up as much more as I can.
Like squeezing a bunch of long
And now I'm just gonna
pimples.
wipe up all that wood.
That's awesome.
Alright, guys. So this is everything that we glued up. We glued up this off camera, which is a little footrest. So when you sit down, you can have a footrest. This is the actual chair. The next step before the backrest goes on is to sand this sucker.
Got a lot of sanding with all that glue squeeze out. Goodness.
Shout out to Ryobi. Dad, you're blocking the shot.
Yeah. There we go. See, now this is called pre-drilling your holes. What it does is it keeps it from
Wait,
stripping
is he
out.
using a screwdriver
As a
counter
countersink? Yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah, I've done that before, man. That's like one of those construction guy tips. My grandpa does that all the time.
Alright, so now that I have
You know what's the most
screws in,
overplayed
I'm
one
going
is when
to
you
use
use like the rubber band on a strip screw.
3/8
Oh, yeah.
dowels
Doesn't work.
It doesn't.
drill
No.
holes to put the dowels into.
It's like a BuzzFeed kind of tip.
No hate to
Australian
BuzzFeed.
video
Actually, a little bit.
I
A
will
little
post
bit.
after this
Friendly
one,
jabs.
and grit, sand all this, and then 220
I like it, you
grit,
painted the edges,
sand it all
that's cool.
again.
Yeah.
Make sure this is all smooth. It doesn't matter if this glue is still here, as long as it's smooth. Right now, it's not very smooth.
It's really nice.
And then after that, we'll do the bottom.
You got the extra pad already.
What I'm gonna do here, I'll show some pictures while I'm talking of what the chair looks like in a little
Nice.
bit better
I like that blue edge. That's really cool.
I'm super happy with the
That's nice.
I can lean back. I can sit on
Strong.
it. I've had many
DGYV
thicker
Woodworks.
people sit on it.
Give 'em a
and it's
sub.
been totally okay.
Give him a thumbs up.
Now, one thing I haven't mentioned in the video is I still have plenty of plywood left. So if I have more time and I didn't have this deadline for the video, I would make a second chair, a second footrest, everything completely identical with this chair because I have the amount of plywood left. I just don't have the time left.
Cool.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my
Love it.
Instagram.
Yeah.
It's the same as my YouTube.
Thanks for
DGYV
building.
Woodworks.
Great project.
So I built my first chair when I was about his age.
Yeah, that's what's so cool. Is like
I have to find a picture of it.
Right, I'm gonna assume he's in high school. Like, I'm not gonna make any broad assumption, but like, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's killer.
And
Shout
today we're
out.
going to make a faux live edge epoxy river table
Uh-oh.
here on
You got
Chipped
another
Oats.
faux live edge.
More.
Okay, so I'm making this table for the Rockler Plywood Challenge. So I bought this sheet of maple
I
plywood
like to
at
make
the store,
stuff.
and
Go in
I
the
had
bottle
them cut
cap.
it down for me so that I could fit it in my car and bring it home. Okay, for this project, I'm using maple plywood.
That's fake
but
grass.
all the furniture in my room
Is it?
a
Grass looks
stain
really
color,
nice.
So I seen these boards.
This lady
and I don't think
fertilizes.
they look super great, but I think it
That's a
will
Thompson's
contrast
yard.
I screwed the boards to the mold.
All
I don't know
right.
about that tape.
That Lowe's tape. Ooh. Well, she did have the bob hat.
Yeah. Some people go off
I
plan.
then added hot glue to all the seams just to add that little bit of protection because I was worried about this completely just
What if you
having
did a
all the
river
resin
table,
leak
but
out and
only
get
fill it with
everywhere.
hot glue?
And I glued in a little
The lava
tiny stop
tape.
at the end so that the river
But she's got the right
it
glue
was
gun.
3 minutes and then it was time to pour.
Ooh, that's nice.
And this was the coolest part. I loved it. And it was just so therapeutic to do. And it,
Very cool.
I used a butane torch to pop all the bubbles.
I think seeped underneath the table, and so there's about 1/4 of an inch of a gap here that
Backfill.
Got this.
All right. What kind of
I
base are we
decided
doing?
to sand the epoxy with micro mesh from 1500 up to 12,000
Have you
before I
used the
stained
micro
the
mesh?
other
No,
side.
Peter Brown uses that kind of stuff all the time.
I
have
used a
not.
paintbrush right near the edge of the epoxy.
Okay,
that way,
I do
too much
like
wouldn't get
those-
onto the epoxy and I
get
could
the
wipe it
cat out
off
of
if
here.
it did. And then I just used the bigger brush to get the rest of the side.
Nice. That's a
The
cool way of
lengths that I
staining.
made for
With
this
that
table
little
are
brush.
pretty simple. I just
See,
measured 3
drywall
inches on
square.
one side and 2 inches on the other.
You know what I want the drywall
and then
square?
I connected
A
a
little bit
line
less
and cut
on
it
the
out with a
perpendicular teeth.
circular saw.
A little bit less length,
I
or
only
just
had
make
4
it even on
nails, so
both
that wasn't
sides.
too
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
don't need to have one really long side, one really short side. Just make them both useful. Yeah. Also, I hate how floppy they are.
So
They
I
need
just
to
cut
be
the
just
same
like,
angle with
if
a
you hold
circular
it
saw.
out, it stays
And then I
straight. I
glued
think that would be
and I
great.
nailed these 2 pieces together to form a set of legs. Once this
Now that I think about it, and let's pause this video, you could also have positive stops for 45 degrees. Hmm. Okay. All right. All right.
was that
We're
I just
thinking here.
repeated the
We're
process
thinking.
on the other side.
Thinking
I
and
decided
drinking.
to use pocket screws to attach the legs to the table. That way nothing would be showing.
Nice.
Once the legs were assembled, I then stained them with the same dark walnut stain as the rest of the table.
I always like to see what people used to open their cans. She had like a bet.
I used a
all.
spacer piece of wood.
Like,
that
I
way
use
that the 2
needle
legs
nose
would be the
pliers
same
sometimes.
distance from
Yeah,
the
I
back and the
was
sides
whenever
for the front
the
and the
first
back.
time I opened a
This is
can and I
pretty easy,
asked
just
for a
line
paint
them
can
up, and
opener,
then
you
I drill
literally
them
looked
with the
surprised. I was like,
special
"Where's the
pocket
paint can
holes
opener?" You looked at me like, "I
I
don't know, but
repeated
there's
the same process for
screwdrivers
the
in the
front set of
corner."
legs, and there's a bit of
And I
level,
handed you a
so
chisel.
I quickly cut a little spacer bar for the middle and attached that with pocket holes as well.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I
Leaving the
actually
legs a
use,
couple coats of
like
spray
what
lacquer.
it's supposed to be used for. All right, final shots. Here we come. Nice.
River it up.
Very cool.
That's hot. I like it. Got a little pearlescent vibe.
Yes. Yeah, I think I would be tempted to just like keep messing with the epoxy whenever if I were to do a pour
That
like
color
that.
reminds me of like Avatar or something.
Yeah. All right, guys. 2 videos left. This is one of them. Here we go. O'Reilly Auto Parts. All right, thanks for that, O'Reilly money, guys.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this flat pack folding sofa from a single sheet of
All right.
plywood.
So I'm actually surprised we didn't see more projects like this because this is like plywood actually used the way plywood was intended.
Right, for the like manufacturing.
I started with
planar
a sheet of
surface.
18 mil thick plywood. This whole sofa is made from
18
less than
millimeters.
1 sheet of plywood and can be made with just a circular saw and a drill. I wanted the seat area to fold up and sit flush with the back of the sofa.
Nice. I like it. He's using
I
everything
lined up the
practically
top
too.
edges and measured up to fit the first hinge. This is a long piano hinge, which will help evenly spread the load.
We're gonna recess that.
I marked up all the edges and the holes of the hinge and added a little bit of double-sided tape to hold it in place.
Good tip, handy tip. You do that?
You saw that carpet tape I got.
Oh, that's what that's
So I
called?
leaned it back until I had something like that, or just what felt right.
Yeah, I like he's doing everything
I then took a
is
scrap
marked
piece of
and
wood
cut like
and
in
traced
place.
this shape onto it.
That's cool.
I cut out this template and did a quick test fit.
Yeah, way overpriced. Nice.
This is like, are you gonna do this kind of stuff for the van or for the bus?
So I got something similar lined out. Yeah. Instead of folding up to be flat pack, it'll be folding to make a spare bed. But that is actually how the countertops are going to be on the wall adjacent from the sofa. Because the countertops are going to fold down and fold
To
out.
finish the sofa, I did 2 coats of a polyurethane matte finish.
Okay, so here's my
Did
idea.
a light sanding
I think
at
hinges
320
should come with like a plastic insert in the holes that perfectly centers your screws.
This gives a really strong and
Well,
There wouldn't be that much to do.
Well, they make a self-centering drill bit. Rockler makes a self-centering drill bit.
Whoever wins, use some of that prize money.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I had one back home, and it's really cool. The bit itself can slide through the sleeve that centers itself. It's pretty cool.
All right, foam brush or bristle brush?
Foam, all the way. He's not going with the grain, though.
Step your game up.
This is a good video, though. I like how everything is shot. It's
Curious
very clean.
creator.
Yeah.
And it's got a little
Young channel.
When moving
Yeah.
the sofa around, the seat had a
getting
tendency to
towards,
flap open.
2K
So I decided to
subscribers.
make a few straps out of leather.
Leather, I like it. Everybody's incorporating just a touch of leather. What? You can't hate? You can't hate?
I'm really happy
It's
with
a really
how this project
efficient, just
turned out.
effective
I love the
project.
way it looks, and it's actually really
Throw some
comfortable.
foam cushions on there and you're all set.
I will be
Ah,
making some
snaps.
cushions for this in a
Ah,
few
snaps.
weeks, so make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that.
Beautiful.
You can download
Boom.
a free cut list from my website.
Positive
Smart.
stops. Kudos. Throw a couple
Well done.
cushions on there, you're
Prices and
done.
materials used. Check out
Plywood the way it
Rockler.
was intended to be used.
Kudos. Curious creator. Very good
I hope you
video.
enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe.
Awesome. All right, guys. This is the last one. Ooh.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I made a coffee table out of plywood and acrylic for the Rockler Plywood Challenge.
Awesome. Whoa. This one's got some textures. I like the song.
You know?
Why not?
Should we go to whiskey?
Yeah.
I made 3 jigs.
Maybe not.
One at 30, one at 45, and one at 60
Awesome.
degrees
Okay.
to assist with the glue.
No, we did not play the shark one. We're sorry. We'll watch. Okay, we'll wrap up with the shark. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen the shark video yet. I figured it would have come up in the shuffle, so I'm kind of excited to see it. All right, so this one's kind of some sort of rendition of the herringbone pattern. Really neat. Yeah, except everyth's
After sanding, I cut
going
the
towards
top
the
to its
center. That's
final
very
length
nice.
And cut a 7.5 degree bevel.
Man, this is one that you just need to watch in real time all the way through, because he's just flipping layers like a madman. What are we drinking? What is this here?
Basil Hayden.
I don't think the audience is keeping up with us.
That's it. I made the bottom in the same way I made the top. I just didn't show it because
incredible.
it
Yeah.
was painted
That's good use of acrylic,
And
especially
attached the legs to
I like
the
that.
bottom.
especially
I
the
just drilled
spaces
simple
here.
holes
That's
at a
really, really
15
good use of
angle
acrylic.
and glued them in.
All right, it's Shark
The
Week.
acrylic that separates the top and bottom was cut to length so that the curve at the ends was seamless. And I glued those together in a chevron pattern to give the table stability.
I like this project a lot. Now, if I were to be a critique here, I would say acrylic in the center, love it. That's awesome. I would have loved to seen some kind of plywood edges happening on the legs there.
Well, I also think how you light it, you can make the acrylic more disappear, so it looks like they're more floating.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, like that's where it's coming in. Like so cool.
Got to do some DIY creator style integrated LEDs.
Right, he's using the acrylic to hide the fact that it's even there.
Right.
And that's what's awesome. Great work. That is from Ursus Woodworking.
Guys got some skills.
That's
Give us
right.
a subscribe. New channel.
All right, so we're gonna go to we're going to the playlist, and we're gonna watch the shark video by popular demand. Here it is.
Challenge. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Got the sandals.
Oh, freehand drawing.
Oh shit.
This dude draws.
I'm liking
Wait.
this. That's great white.
In the
right
background, you have like a little kiddie pool for the shark.
there. Guess we'll find out.
Sweet square.
That's a good square right there. Room for improvement.
Maybe. What's it doing? Oh shit.
This is how he's just doing it all by hand, rough sizing everything bigger and
This
bigger.
guy is a savage. Holy crap.
Dude, this is one man that trusts his own ability.
Dude, I totally thought that was a CNC part.
I remember you saying that, yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Shout out to Ryobi. Make a damn
Look at this, look at this. That's a good shot. That's a really smart edit.
Remember that like terrible elbow where he did the thing with the hat? Where he said, like,
Oh, yeah.
They wore the hat like this.
Yeah, don't do that.
Shock and catch on.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Oh, look, it's give me the rest of this hat.
I make, you make, we all make.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love how freeform it is. Freehand drawing,
No
free
templates.
cuts,
He just went
just
for it.
feeling it. And he's literally sketching three-dimensionally in a solid material.
Yeah,
Modern ideation.
This is some like, yeah, absolutely. He needs to be at 1,000 right now. Come on, guys, let's get him to 1,000. This is some real like more like this is artistic stuff. This isn't just like coming up with a good 3D model and just executing it. This is real like artistic intuition. Full saws, fine teeth on this one.
Fine tooth guy. This is man a glue brush.
This is cool.
Wait, this is all jigsaw?
I think
And
he
handsaw.
only used the jigsaw so far. Yeah.
Look at that. And
We got like $100 in tools here. That's awesome. This is amazing.
dude, this is so good.
This is a contender right
So,
here. Shark
okay.
Week.
Shark Week. I want to see people comment. Oh, if I had all those fancy tools, I could make. Oh wait.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Dude.
That's when you come back and
Oh,
just
look
say,
at the eyes.
yeah. That's when you come back and say, if I just had a little bit of creativity.
Modern
and confidence.
ideation. You rock, man.
Yeah.
Dremel.
This is awesome. Verithane. I was really impressed with this finish. Nice. Ooh, with the Japanese House remix.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm just like super impressed.
This is awesome. That's a project
I
right
actually
there.
really enjoyed making this project. It's a little bit different than what I normally do. But the most
It's a little different than what I
What does he
normally
normally do? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. All right, I'm definitely gonna have to look into the backlog of videos.
Deep dive later.
Yeah,
But,
deep
I
dive
think
for
it came
sure.
out pretty well.
Modern
Let me know if you
ideation.
Make sure you leave a like.
That's
and
an
a
awesome
comment.
project.
And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the future projects to come. And I'll see you next time on Modern Ideations.
Awesome.
That was amazing.
All right. That's a great one to round it out.
inspiring.
That's a good one to round it out.
All right, let's see the stand-up paddleboard. Did you do a video?
I haven't seen it. No, I have not gotten a notification.
All right.
I think that's an Instagram
I'll pick
exclusive.
one more video.
All right, one video. I'll be right back.
So many options. Oh, yeah, we're gonna do the living cell table.
Entry for the Rockler Plywood Challenge from the Modern Maker podcast. In some rivers, and maybe in some river tables, you can find these Volvox algae.
Let's start with some
Supposedly
science.
they are similar to the first multicell organisms, and I want to take their structure as an inspiration for my living cell table. The table should be round as a Volvox sphere. To create an abstract cell pattern, I use the free software Inkscape. By randomly distributing dots in a circle and creating a Voronoi pattern based on this distribution, the pattern looks like a
We're getting a
conglomerate of
software
cells.
tutorial too? This is
Before
awesome.
we create the tabletop, let's design the legs. Straight legs would have looked weird with this table.
I agree.
As I was already creating Voronoi patterns in Inkscape, why not use the same approach for the legs? 4 dots, and I got my legs. Well, at least a rough prototype. I cut a smaller scale model of this shape on the hotwire table.
The
and
living
started
cell
to
table.
experiment.
This thing's like
After
pretty
several
awesome. With the red
iterations,
tops?
I end up with this
Dude,
concept that
easy.
I recreate in Fusion 360. While the CNC is cutting the
Shout out to
template
Fusion.
for the
It's
lab
free.
shape, let's get back to the table.
It's also incredibly hard to
The
learn.
CNC is cutting a template
Yeah.
from MDF for the
What?
tabletop.
It's free.
I'm working with
And it's a
templates
super
instead
valuable
of cutting
skill.
everything
Yeah.
directly
You
on
can
the
do- you
CNC.
can build
as nested
you can
a
make
lot
of money
shapes on a
doing
sheet of
freelance
plywood would
Fusion
be too
360 modeling.
complicated
Yeah,
with the
that's a good
machine,
point.
while it's easily done by hand. After drawing the shapes with chalk on the plywood, I break the
He gave
sheet
us like a
into more manageable
science,
pieces.
like,
The shapes
lesson
are
on, like,
then
cells
roughly
and shit.
cut on the bandsaw.
Really?
On the router table, the plywood
Usually
is
it's-
trimmed flush with the template. In case you wonder why the template is painted blue, that's just so that I notice when I bend it with the router bit. One of the legs gets a special treatment. I follow the shape with the CNC
electrical.
switched off
Nice.
to align the plywood. Then I cut a channel in the middle of the piece and also cut the outline. With a
I
few
feel like you need a freehand
dowels,
bit.
the second half is temporarily attached and will be treated as all the other pieces. For all other legs, the 2 halves are glued together. 2 of the leg pieces get a
This guy
double
loves
lattice
stress
to
tool.
accept floating panels.
And we don't hate you for
I'm
it, we're
printing
just
a
pointing
side
it out.
view of my leg from the
Because the
Fusion
comments
model.
will otherwise.
I'm
They're
able
good
to
tools.
mark
They're
the
good tools.
area where the leg should
Nothing
connect.
bothers me more than
This
when people
area
complain
also gets a double
because someone else
lattice.
is using expensive
After
tools.
the joinery is cut,
That's just like
all legs
classic.
get a
You
massive
just
round
don't hit the player.
You know
hit
what?
the game.
I'm gonna say it. Those people are losers.
I honestly like it's
as the channel
huge,
would interfere
huge
with
losers.
panels.
you're making
I
it
attach
like
this
you're
leg
saying
with the
this person is good because he
Afterwards,
has a
I
festival
glue the
jigsaw.
second half of the leg
We
in
saw
place
someone make a
and keep the
shark with
dowels for alignment.
a Ryobi
With
jigsaw.
the spacer
I
block,
hate that I just
mark
did
a
that
line
plug, but I
around the
kind of did.
bottom end
The
of
best
the
jigsaw.
legs, and with a simple
Regardless,
for the money.
angle,
It's just
I mark
like
a line at the top.
people lose
All
sight
the
of what's
legs
important. So
Japanese
easily.
coleslaw. He uses
So
a
that they
festival,
are
but he still
parallel
uses
to the
Japanese
ground.
coleslaw.
And he's using the
Now
fine
follows
teeth.
a
No one
little
uses the
sanding
rough teeth
with
on a
the ground
coleslaw, man. I'm telling you.
That's why we're making a Japanese coleslaw, only fine teeth.
Yeah, general purpose, both
With the
sides.
legs finished,
It's going to be
the tabletop
slightly
is next.
more aggressive than the
With
same
the
standard
tabletop
fine tooth,
plate
but what we
clamped to the
found
plywood,
is
I
it
create
has
a
no
recess
diminishing
for the
effects
glass
on
with
cut
a
quality.
flush trim bit.
We're doing a lot of
And
research and
use a
development
17mm
currently.
bushing with an 8mm bit to cut pockets in the table.
Awesome.
I do like that kind of cellular aesthetic.
Yeah,
I also cut
Whoa,
2 more
that's a
plywood
fancy
pieces
square.
to a
that's some
round shape.
woodpecker stuff right there.
One of them
Yeah,
gets
that's-
trimmed flush.
I'm going to
with
drop
the
a lot of
template.
money tools right
For the
there.
other one,
I don't like
find
that
the
orange though. That
center
orange is ugly
and
as
use
fuck.
my router
It's not a good
to
look.
cut an inner circle. After cutting the circle
Awesome.
free with
He's
the jigsaw
jigsawing
and
upside
flush
down.
trimming it gets glued to the other piece
Jigsawing in
to
space.
form a pocket. After more flush trimming, they get a round over at the bottom and a sanding before they're secured to the base with the 2 screws.
This feels like a pro.
The insect will be able to interact with the people in the room.
Whoa.
After installing
Wait, is this
the
like pressure
Arduino,
sensitive?
I glue the top part of the table in place, trim it flush,
That
and
base
give
is
it the
awesome.
same round
That
over
is
as all
amazing.
the other pieces. My wife, in the meantime, cut all the glass pieces
Dream
to rough
team.
shape.
Wait, that's glass.
The rough shapes are sanded to fit snug in the openings.
Yeah, okay.
Using glass
You
in
can
the build
sand
as
glass
well
with
as
belt
the
sander.
electronics was an interesting challenge to get me out of my comfort zone.
This is amazing.
I was on the edge of using a darker stain on the table,
I'm glad
I finally decided for a simple hot oil finish that I apply in 2 coats.
That's amazing.
I am
Way
very
of
happy
wood.
with how the table turned
Dude,
out.
subscribe to this guy.
When
This
you
guy
put
has
your hand
serious
on a
skill.
specific area of the tabletop and remove it after a while, the
Oh,
cells
man.
come to life
Holy-
and start pulsating for a little while.
Well, let's keep it down with the pulsating. Let's keep it under control here. There's children watching.
It was a fun build, and the table will be a
That's
great
amazing.
addition to our
Yeah.
living room.
Check this guy out.
Also,
Way
check
of
out some
wood.
of my
He's got
other
serious
videos.
skills.
Don't forget to
Relatively new
subscribe
channel.
to
This
keep
guy's
up with
amazing.
new videos and follow me
He
on
cuts glass
Instagram
with like a
for a
bandsaw.
look at future projects.
Yeah. All right, guys, to everybody that watched this live stream, thank you. You're amazing. To everyone that participated, thank you times a million. And if we didn't highlight your video on this one, remember, we're still doing the actual wrap-up. This is just a watch party.
This is the warm-up.
So if you're one of those top, let's just say 25, 30 projects, the ones that kind of stand out that we want to talk more about, you're going to be in the highlight show. We're going to be talking about your projects, so do not fret.
You know it's not going to be in the highlights?
I don't know what.
Our videos.
Not yours, at least.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Your desk is wobbly.